You know what's better than 24? 25. And that's what it took to beat crosstown rival Wayne Valley last week after Tyler Hayek's exciting 17-yard dash to the end zone, which cemented the victory and guaranteed the 1 seed in the state tournament. The Patriots, led by quarterback Brendan DeVera, Jason Modak, and the Hayeks, look to end the Blue Knights' perfect season. With a win tonight, Wayne Hills will have not only momentum going into states, but another league championship to add to the Wayne Hills football legacy. It's senior night here at Patriot Stadium. 7-1 Wayne Hills, 8-0 Irvington. Next.
To Wayne Hills High School for a showdown here in North Jersey. Cool, blustery Friday night under the lights here. Wayne Hills against Irvington. These will be the 1 and 2 seeds respectively in North 1 Group 4 heading into the postseason. But this is the final regular season matchup. Senior night here at Wayne Hills High School. You're going to see the seniors get introduced in just a few minutes. But before that, we'll talk a little bit about this game, guys. John Vittas in the booth here with Brandon Brogan and Matt Klarberg. This is a significant game. However, no postseason implications, guys. We're going to take a look at the power points in North 1 Group 4. All the teams have played 8 games, so you're going to see minor movement in the points tonight because you take the best 7 out of 8 performances. So you might see a little shifting, but in the top 4 in North 1 Group 4, things will remain exactly the same, with Wayne Hills locked in at the number 1 seed, and this team, Irvington, locked in at number 2. 3 and 4 also finalized. You see Wayne Valley there. They'll be the 3 seed no matter what happens tonight. So these 4 are set. It's the bottom 4 that could move around. You see Fairlawn there as the 5 seed. Northern Highlands, the last team in there, down at number 8 with 87 points. These 8 teams are set. The bottom 4 here that you're seeing on your screen right now, the order of those 4 teams could shuffle throughout the night. But the field is set in North 1 Group 4, and the top 4 seeds are set. So this game has no postseason implications. However, these 2 teams are undefeated in the state of New Jersey, and the winner of this is the league champion. So they are playing for something tonight. This is also a potential preview of the state championship game in 3 or 4 weeks. So, guys, with all that said, what are you looking for tonight from these 2 teams? Do they keep anything in the bag? Do they hold back? Or do you go all out to try and get that league title, knowing that you might play one of these teams in a few weeks with more on the line?
Well, you know, John, I definitely think that you motivate your players to work really hard no matter what the case is, especially in a game like this. Get them motivated, and you want to see what a team is made of. You don't want to mess it up because you have a potential chance to see them again later in the year. So you definitely want to see what they're made of. So, yeah, I say you go all out for a game like this.
And I'd like to say that knowing this Wayne Hills football team and watching them the whole season, they always have something up their sleeve that a team is not prepared for. So, you know, we're playing Irvington now. Say we play them again in the state championship. There's something they haven't seen that we have up our sleeves to go up against them and beat them.
Well, one thing Irvington might not see tonight is Wayne Hills' starting running back Luca Grave, who injured his ankle last week at Wayne Valley in Wayne Hills' dramatic 1-point win across town. You see the numbers on Grave through 7+ games this season. He's had a magnificent senior year. He's likely to be at full strength for the playoffs, but he'll be limited tonight. We'll see him in uniform. Not sure how much they're going to use him, but what we do know is that Joe Mangelli, the sophomore, will get the start at tailback, so limited snaps tonight for Grave on both sides of the football. Guys, there's going to be a team effort to try and fill his shoes. Who do you think is going to be able to do it throughout the course of the night?
Well, you know, John, they have a few options tonight. I mean, as you said already, the sophomore Joe Mangelli, he's been doing really well. They've been putting him in a couple of games. He's been performing pretty well. Also, you talk about Chris Ruby. I talked to him earlier in the day. He was very fired up, and he seemed like he was ready to play. And then the last option they have, you talk about Hunter Hayek, who had a heck of a game against Wayne Valley. 3 touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. He had 97 yards for a rush and 3 receptions and 46 yards. So he had an insane week last week, so let's see what he could do tonight, possibly in the running back position.
He's the lead receiver, but tonight he will line up at tailback from time to time. They're going to use Hunter Hayek in a variety of ways. You see the 10 receiving touchdowns, the 650 receiving yards, and the receptions. All those numbers lead the Wayne Hills team. So he is the lead pass-catching threat, and tonight he'll be in the backfield a good bit too. Matt, who are you looking to tonight to make a big impact for Wayne Hills?
Tonight, I'm looking at the quarterback, Brennan DeVera. He's had an outstanding all year so far, as you see on the screen, some of his stats. As it says, he's had 1,454 passing yards, 24 touchdowns with only 6 interceptions. His rushing is outstanding, almost as much as our running backs themselves. And he's, as we've been talking about in earlier weeks, he's committed to University of New Hampshire. And he's just such an outstanding player, and he's also the team's leading tackler. So there's big things ahead of him this year and also in college.
Well, he's a Division I linebacker, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the state. 29 touchdowns through the first 8 games for DeVera. He'll be front and center tonight, along with the Irvington quarterback, Javon Brown, who's also a Division I prospect at quarterback. Both of them 6'3", 6'4", very physical players with big-time arms. Both of them have thrown for at least 17 touchdowns through the air this season. So we're going to see a lot of passes tonight deep down the field, which is atypical for a high school football matchup. Last but not least, guys, one guy that's been a huge factor the last couple of weeks on offense, he's headed to Rutgers to play safety, but right now on offense, he's making a massive impact. That's Tyler Hayek, Hunter's twin brother. Tyler had the game-winning touchdown reception against Wayne Valley last week. The week before that against Passaic Valley, a career day. 8 catches for 131 yards against the Hornets. That was the last home game for Wayne Hills. 10 of Tyler's 19 catches this year have come in the last 2 games. So he's becoming more of a threat at the wide receiver spot, and we might see him get more targets tonight with his brother Hunter lining up at running back for a handful of snaps, if not more, throughout the night. So keep an eye on Tyler Hayek, who's making a larger impact in the passing game. It is senior night here at Wayne Hills. We're going to show you that ceremony coming up in just a couple of minutes. The final regular season home game here at Wayne Hills. So we'll get a chance to meet all the Wayne Hills seniors for both the football team and the cheerleading squad in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned here on Wayne Hills TV. A prime matchup tonight here at home. Wayne Hills against undefeated Irvington.
And good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Wayne Hills High School continues its time-honored tradition of recognizing our senior cheerleaders and football players by introducing them along with their family members. They are to be congratulated for their dedication, commitment, and contribution to school spirit over their 4-year high school careers in what probably best can be described as patriot pride. And now let us introduce our senior cheerleaders. Dakota Brower, escorted by her father James Brower and mother Heidi Nolan. Gianna Mongelli, escorted by her dad Joe, mom Michelle, sister Jess, brothers Jojo and Jonathan, and grandparents Mike, Fran, and Claire. Jacqueline Stinziano, escorted by her dad Joe and mom Laura. Captain Danielle Davies, escorted by her dad Chris, mom Tony, and sister Caitlin. Captain Anna DeMarinis, escorted by her dad Frank and mom Karen. Captain Alexa DiVirgilio, escorted by her dad Tito, mom Stacy, and brother Nicholas. Captain Christina Giannini, escorted by her dad Michael, mom Virginia, brother and 2012 alumnus Michael, alumni I should say, brother Michael and sister Stephanie. Captain Tessa Peloso, escorted by her dad Joe and mom Cheryl. And now let's introduce our senior football players. Number 1, Nick Petracco, escorted by dad Frank and mom Stephanie. Number 2, Hunter Goldberg, escorted by his dad Dean, mom Amy, and brother Jeremy. Number 5, Dom DiCarlo, escorted by mom Holly, dad Rich, sister Bella, and grandpa Pat. Number 6, Anthony Guzzo, escorted by his dad Tony, mom Lucy, 2009 alumni and JV cheer coach, sister Nicole, and 2012 alumni, sister Alexis. Captain number 7, Brendan DeBera, dad Brian, mom Benetchi, and brother Tyler. Number 8, Chris Posterla, escorted by his dad Mike, mom Anne Marie, and his brothers Stephen and Alex. Number 9, Chris Ruby, escorted by his dad Chris, mom Michelle, sister Alyssa, and cousin Ryan. Number 14, Joe Peichel, escorted by his dad Mark, mom Michelle, siblings Stephanie, class of 03, Michael, class of 06, and Mary, class of 15. Captain number 18, Hunter Hayek, and number 19, Tyler Hayek, escorted by their dad Vic, mom Tara, and brother Jared. Captain number 22, Luca Grave, escorted by his dad Sal, mom Maria, sister Nikki, brother Joe, and sister Alessandra. 30, Zach Miller, escorted by his mom, Justine, his twin sisters, Angelina and Olivia, and his grandmother, Judy. Captain, number 34, Jacob Casal, escorted by his dad, Orlando, mom, Linda, and sister, Brianna. Number 44, Tyler Trentacosta, escorted by his dad, Greg, mom, Michelle, and brother and Patriot alumni, Nick. Number 53, Tyler Costello, escorted by his mom, Barbara Celentano, dad, Gene, and sister, Alexis. Number 54, Kai Sali, escorted by his dad, Kyle, mom, Lakeisha, and sister, Kyla. Captain, number 59, John Stadler, escorted by his mom, Lori Palo, dad, John, Donna Yetter, Uncle Dennis Palo, and sisters, Amanda and Emily. Number 65, Danny Musa, escorted by his mom, Raja, dad, Hani, and sister, Miriam. Number 67, Danny Rodriguez, escorted by his mom, Mercedes, dad, Juan, and brothers Omar and Angelo. Number 69, Omar Sobrego, escorted by his mom, Naya, and dad, Beso. Number 73, Jose Fortier, escorted by his father, Jose, his mother, Norma. And number 83, Evidence Nojoko, escorted by his sister Gladys Nojoko and brother Charles. Ladies and gentlemen, let us announce the officials for tonight's game. The referee, Vic Montcalari, the line judge, Ryan McCleary, the head linesman, Chad McConnell, the umpire, Mike Foley, the field judge, Mark Mundy, the side judge, Charlie Zulau, and the clock operator, Angelo Ranicola. Ladies and gentlemen, let us introduce the Wayne Hills starting offensive lineup. At wide receiver, number 18, Hunter Hayek, number 18. At wide receiver, number 19, Tyler Hayek, number 19. At tight end, number 1, Nick Petracco, number 1. At tackle, number 59, John Stadler, number 59. At guard, number 63, Mike Zaccone, number 63. At center, number 58, Scott Fishgrun, number 58. At guard, number 57, Jason Modak, number 57. At tackle, number 72, Bensi Polgar, number 72. At wide receiver, number 83, Evidence Nojoku, number 83. At wide receiver, number 11, Jaron Hayek, number 11. At fullback, number 6, Anthony Kuzo, number 6. At tailback, number 29, Joe Mangelli, number 29. And at quarterback, number 7, Brendan DeVera, number 7. And let's welcome the rest of the Patriots squad. Tonight we welcome our special guests, the STARS students. Please keep the cheers going as they make their way through the helmet. The STARS students. We ask that you now please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem by the Patriot Marching Band.
John Vittas welcoming you into Wayne Hills High School. We are live from Wayne, New Jersey tonight. The final matchup of the 2016 regular season and a heavyweight matchup. The 7-1 Wayne Hills Patriots against the 8-0 Irvington Blue Knights. D1 players all over the field tonight for these two teams. Joined with Brandon Brogan and Matt Klarberg tonight. Guys, this is a heck of a matchup. We're talking the number 1 and the number 2 seeds in North 1 Group 4. Both of the top 20 in the entire state of New Jersey coming into this matchup. It doesn't get much better than this. We talked about it a little bit in the open. This game has 0 postseason implications. These teams are locked in as the 1 and the 2 seeds. So the coaches have a delicate balance to walk because they don't want to show too much tonight because this could be a preview of the state championship game. But you also want to win this game because the winner is crowned league champ. And also you want to beat the team that you might face in the final round just for bragging rights to feel better about yourself. So it's a tough balance for these coaches to walk, but they are going to go for the win tonight. No one's holding back. Captain's meeting at midfield for the coin toss. I mean, we're expecting a lot of offense tonight and a lot of action through the air. Wayne Hills, despite the injury to Grave, you see him number 22. He is dressed tonight. He might play a little bit, but not as much as usual. Guys, this is going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you, John. Both these teams, as you were saying, heavyweight fighters. Wayne Hills, the number 1 seed, leading power points. Number 2, Irvington, 8-0. Although we do have 1 loss, we do have more power points, and we are number 1 for Wayne Hills Patriots. So tonight I think it'll be a high-scoring game, both great offense and defense. So you don't know what to expect in a game like this coming up.
Well, looking at the matchup here, Irvington has a high-powered offense, just as talented as the Wayne Hills skill players. We're talking 9 or 10 Division I caliber skill players on these two offenses tonight combined. Javon Brown, the quarterback, with 19 touchdowns through the air. Brendan DeVera, the quarterback for Wayne Hills, you see him right there, number 7, has 24 passing touchdowns. A lot of action in the air tonight for both of these teams. Brown with 1,300 yards plus and 19 touchdowns through the air. He has Division I offers from all different schools. And look at number 2, Josiah Provolon, the main wide receiver tonight for Irvington. Provolon has scholarship offers from 3 Big Ten schools, including Michigan, Maryland, and Penn State. So keep an eye on number 2 in blue and white tonight, Josiah Provolon, who's headed to a big-time Division I football program next season, or actually in 2 years. He's only a junior, heavily recruited by some power conference schools. Nim Salam, the slapback number 3, and Al Blackman, the running back number 1, also major weapons on offense for Irvington. There's a reason this team's 8-0, guys. A lot of offense. We'll see their defense on the field first. And there's number 6, quarterback Brown. Looks like he's going to take the kick here for Irvington. Irvington putting their undefeated record on the line tonight. They are 8-0. And Wayne Hills ranked higher than them in all the polls, but still very close. Wayne Hills number 1 in the North Jersey rankings, number 5 ranking in the conference, and number 11 in the entire state of New Jersey by NJ.com. So the quarterback Brown getting set to kick it away. Wayne Hills will return and start the night on offense. Chilly night temperatures in the mid-50s for kickoff, expected to drop into the 40s by the end of the night. Brown tees it up, and we are underway from Wayne Hills. Going to be taken inside the 10, straight up the middle, and taken down is Njoku. Still going across the 40. Njoku to the sideline into Irvington territory, and finally shouldered out of bounds as a flag flies. Al Blackman, who will be the starter on running back, made the tackle, but Njoku able to shed a couple of tackle attempts and get into Irvington territory. We'll check on the flag in a minute.
And that right there is something that Coach Zacone and Coach Demikoff will definitely be really happy about. Special teams doing a great job. Evidence putting the team in great field position. And, you know, Coach Demikoff, I have him first period, and we always talk about how he loves a good start. Potential is a big thing for him. And once you push your team in the beginning and they're doing well, he says that it just takes itself from there.
Yeah, that's just a great job done by Evidence to find an opening and break through. And even when there was 2 guys on him trying to tackle him, he broke those somehow. And he found a way to get around. I believe he's at the 50 because of the penalty. So he did a great job there.
So Wayne lies 10 yards. They will still start in Irvington territory at the 49. So here comes the spread offense led by John Jacobs, the offensive coordinator just the third year Wayne Hills is running the spread. They used to be a pro-style ground and pound team. Here's a flip to Mangelli, the sophomore getting his first career start, and he's swallowed up by Irvington front after no gain on first down. So we'll see a lot of Mangelli tonight, number 29, the sophomore, making his first career start in place of Luca Grave, the senior tailback, who will probably not play much on offense tonight. He's nursing an injured ankle. We might see him a little bit on defense tonight, but they're really saving him for the playoffs, which begin next week.
You know, John, I think we're going to see a lot of passing plays tonight, considering Luca Grave, the main running back, he's injured, might not be playing as much, so we'll be seeing a lot of this tonight.
DeVera, the play fake, under pressure, rolling to his right, throws across the field, incomplete.
You know, I have to say, John, one of the things that Brendan DeVera does best is thrives under pressure. When he has people running at him and he has to scrimmage away and get away from the tacklers, he does a great job of not getting sacked for loss and finding a way to get rid of the ball either to one of his receivers or just get rid of it so there's no loss on the play.
Number 6, Anthony Cuso was in on that play, and the pass was intended for number 1, Nick Petracco, Chris Ruby in the backfield. All of those guys complement the big 3 receivers for Wayne Hills, who are all split out right now, the Hayek brothers and Evidence Njoku. Third and long, DeVera going to throw all time in the pocket. Throws to the near side. It's caught. Tyler Hayek wrestling around the sideline and gang tackled after a gain of about 5. So it'll be 4th down for the Patriots and an early decision to be made. Looks like they're going to give them 7 yards, so it'll be 4th and 3 from the Irvington 42. So 4th and 3, and Wayne Demikoff going to have to make a decision in his 4th season, succeeding the legendary Chris Olsen, who was here for better than 2 decades, and it looks like Wayne Hills has made the decision to punt. Quarterback DeVera also the punter, so Irvington will have to be careful. Of course, he can throw if they call a trick play. Snap is good. DeVera's footed kick is headed towards the corner and will bounce out of bounds just inside the 20 here on the near sideline, and Irvington will begin their drive from their own 20.
You know, to me it looked like that Brennan had to hold off on his kick a little bit on that play. Reason for that was he was about at the 55-yard line, and I've seen him kick for about more than 5 yards, so good job by him not putting it all he's got and getting a touchback. So
they would have liked to have gotten it a little bit deeper, but you'll still take it at the 20-yard line. I mean, like you said, Matt, we've seen him rip off 50 or 60-yard punts this season, so obviously holding back a little bit there. And officially, it'll be a 22-yard punt. Irvington starts inside their own 20. So here is Javon Brown, the senior quarterback, number 7, 6'4", will roll to his right, has the man in the flat. It is a 1st down for Irvington. That was number 8, Nelson Gideon, who is not one of their go-to guys. He's a defensive end, and Gideon, who Wayne Hills was probably not paying much attention to, gets the 1st down reception. That's a gain of 23 yards on the first play from scrimmage for the Blue Knights. And right away, Irvington into the hurry-up as Brown remains under center with 2 receivers. Here's a handoff. Blackman up the middle. 1st down and more. Into Wayne Hills territory. Shakes the safety. Into the open field. Blackman is ripped down from behind all the way down to the Wayne Hills 20-yard line. An impressive start for the Irvington Blue Knights. Al Blackman, the senior tailback, over 900 yards on the season. Picks over 30 on his first carry of the night.
You know, I think a reason for those big gains like you saw just now by Irvington is the formation of the line they run. They only have 2 receivers, so everyone they have is on the line. It's not something that Wayne Hills is used to seeing.
Brown comes to the near side. Here's Provolone inside the 20 and taken down by Wayne Hills at the 15. So a gain of 5 there for Irvington. It'll be 2nd and 5. But there's Provolone, who we talked about in the open. Division I offers from the likes of Maryland, Michigan, Penn State. I mean, those are big-time schools. James Franklin, DJ Durkin, Jim Harbaugh, they're knocking at your door. You know you've got something.
Yeah, Provolone, talking about him, he's like the evidence of our school. You know, committed to a big school, very talented player, and he's only a junior, so a lot of talent for this Irvington offense.
Had 112 yards on 6 catches against PV last week. They go to Blackman again, and this time Wayne Hills is there to bottle him up after a gain of 2, maybe 3, and it'll be 3rd and short now for the Blue Knights.
So this will be big here for Wayne Hills to see if Irvington's going to throw the ball on 3rd and short or run the ball, because they have very trusty receivers and running back.
Well, Brown is certainly not afraid to air it out. He has Division I offers that he's currently weighing. Not the likes of the Big Ten schools, but still impressive. Here's a pitch to the right. Blackman right at the sticks, taken down at the 10. It looks like that will be enough, and they give him the first down. So they get the first down run on 3rd and 2, and it'll be 1st and goal for Irvington here in a scoreless game.
I noticed that Blackman did a good job. Even though he was tackled, he was able to reach out and get the first down, get his arm out far enough to get over the line.
So Irvington with 1st and goal with under 9 minutes to play. Wayne Hills with 3 and out on their first as Irvington sets up in the eye here on 1st down. There's the handoff. This time it's number 3. That is Salam, and he's stopped for a short gain. Got maybe 4 yards or so on the play. That is Muda Abdus Salam. They call him Nim Salam. He's the second running behind Blackman. But Salam is a big part of the offense as well. He had 2 touchdown catches last week against Passaic Valley. There are a number of measuring sticks between these two teams. They've played a lot of the same opponents. This game appears to be pretty even. Brown back to pass all day. He'll roll to the left. There's no receivers there. Now he comes to the near side, and it's well covered by Wayne Hills. The entire secondary was there. The Hayek brothers and DeVera there to cover.
It's a good job there by the backs on that play for Wayne Hills. Not letting him get an open receiver, not forcing them to throw the ball out of bounds for no gain or anything.
And we're seeing great action on both sides so far. These offensive lines are giving their quarterbacks all day to throw, and if that continues, we might see a lot of points here tonight. Wayne Hills has scored 30 points or more in the majority of their games this year. Here's the handoff. Salam is stuffed, pushing the pile towards the goal line. He'll be a couple of yards. So 4th and goal, Irvington down to the Wayne Hills 2. So now you get the extra bodies in there for the Patriots as you see Delakai running off the field, number 56. Wayne Hills without both Danny Musa and Tyler Costello tonight. Both were injured against Wayne Valley. Those are 2 starters on defense not in there for Wayne Hills. So they're going to go in the shotgun here on 4th and goal. Huge play here in the first quarter. Brown is in the gun and now changing the play at the line. He shifts a couple of guys around. And it's 4th down. Keeps it. Goes to the right. Trying to get around the edge, and he does. Javon Brown, a rushing touchdown, and Irvington draws the first blood. 6-0 Blue Knights. So Brown, who has over 200 yards on the ground this season with his 9th rushing touchdown. Similar numbers between both quarterbacks. DeVera and Brown can run, and they've also thrown for around 20 touchdowns this year.
Talk about Javon Brown. He's also the kicker for the Blue Knights, so we'll see him lined up now for the extra point.
Provolone, the receiver, holds. The kick is through. So 7-0 Irvington. Like you said, Matt, not only does Brown play quarterback, he handles the kickoffs, he handles the kicks, and Wayne Hills hopes that they'll get a chance to see him handle the punts a little bit later on. We'll see who lines up at punter tonight for Irvington. Brown does a lot for this team. This is a well-united Irvington team. Got a chance to talk to some of their coaches before the game, and they have a lot of dynamic talent, including Javon Brown. As you see, the points going up for Irvington, 7-0. It is senior night, guys. I know you're friends with a lot of these players. Great Wayne Hills program. We're going to get a chance to showcase some of their seniors throughout the night. We're going to roll some graphics to show you just who these players are. There are a lot of seniors. Some of them are superstars in high school football, others not so much, and we'll get a chance to mention some of the other guys throughout the broadcast tonight.
So here are 3 of the seniors, 3 of the 21. So we got Chris Pasterla, who plays a lot, Brendan DeVera, who everyone knows about, Tyler Trentacosta, he gets in every once in a while. They are all outside linebackers, and Brendan is obviously the quarterback. They're all very devoted players, playing since they were freshmen. Brendan was a transfer here his junior year. So all 3 very talented athletes that are all very sad to see go.
And Chris Pasterla and Tyler Trinacosta, two sport athletes also playing lacrosse.
So here's the kickoff. There's Brown again. Njoku fields it at the 8 again, near side, cuts inside, has a hole, straight down the sideline. Evidence Njoku again into Irvington territory, and again inside the Blue Knight 40.
That's a great job right there. Oh,
sorry, Brandon. Holds on special teams for Irvington. Second straight time they had the near sideline.
That's a great job right there by the special teams. Created a huge hole for them right there. Evan seemed to be limping off the field after the play.
Yeah, he got fallen on by a couple of tacklers and apparently has a leg injury, it appears. And that would be bad news for Wayne Hills. Njoku's a big red zone threat, and he's a key part of the offense. We'll keep an eye on him as DeVera starts in the gun. Two receivers, handoff. Mangelli has room on the right side and pushes forward for a gain of about 4. Like Jason Modak opened up the hole there at right guard as we look at Njoku in some serious pain on the sideline, being attended to by the training staff.
Yeah, I talk to Evan Njoku every once in a while in school, and he's a very he's not one of those guys that's just going to take an injury and say, you know, I can't do this. Like last week, he was limping a little bit, but he stayed on the field, so it's odd of him, so it must be a very hard injury right now. We'll find out later what the issue is.
They're going to stick with the two receivers set with Njoku out. Mangelli has it again, falling forward close to the sticks. A gain of 5, going to be 3rd and 1 for Wayne Hills. Guys, you see it early on. Mangelli has a lot of speed. He's a shorter guy at 5'6". Grave is able to elude guys and fall forward. Mangelli doesn't have quite that punch.
You know, he's a little smaller than Luca Grave is, but he's also not as seasoned as Luca Grave is now as a sophomore, and he'll have a lot of time to improve for his next 2 years of Wayne Hills football.
Well, Grave over 2,500 career rushing yards and close to 30 touchdowns. That's a lot of experience on the sidelines tonight, but no experience needed on this run for Mangelli, who picks up 7 and moves the sticks for Wayne. Their first down of the night and nearing the Irvington red zone at the 24.
And here we see Jaron Hayek in taking Evidence's spot while he is on the bench being tended to by the trainers.
It looks like from here that Chris Ruby, number 9, is also on the sideline now with an injury. He looks like he's on the bench next to Evidence. He's being tended to by the trainers.
Mangelli gets the carry again, and the ball may have come loose. Things not going to script right now for Wayne Hills. You see Petracco with a nose in there trying to get the football, and it looks like he did. So good job by Nick Petracco, the tight end, to get in there and recover the ball. It'll be a gain of 1 after the fumble as Mangelli coughed it up, but they're down 7. 2 of their best players on the sidelines right now. Patriots reeling a little bit. They've had a pretty tough schedule, so they've been tested, but Irvington probably the most talented team they've seen all year. So 2nd and 9 for DeVera and company. The 3 receivers are all of the Hayek household. DeVera going to throw to the right. It's juggled and caught and then dropped. It'll be incomplete. They tried to run the bubble screen for Tyler Hayek, and the throw from DeVera was off target.
Tyler was hit pretty hard right there. But he's a tough kid. I have math with him, talk to him pretty often. He's a tough kid also, as you were saying about Evidence. All the Wayne Hills receivers seem to have that trend.
How's he at math?
He's pretty good, actually.
See, that's the insight we need from you guys, the inside classroom stuff, especially when we talk about the seniors throughout the night and we get them up there. If they don't have football stats off, if that GPA is shining, let us know.
And just take away from that for a moment, it looks like Evidence got off the bench, is walking around a little bit, so that's good news for him.
DeVera going to throw inside for Hayek. Tyler Hayek down the seam, into the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots. Oh, Hayek has been the main option the last couple of weeks. 10 of his 19 catches this season have come in the last 2 games, and they go to him again over the middle. Touchdown pass number 25 for Brendan DeVera, and Hayek's 7th receiving touchdown, and the Patriots an extra point away from getting even.
And, you know, when I think of Tyler Hayek, he's definitely one of the craftiest players on the offense. You give him the ball on a short pass, and he'll just make something of it all the time.
Extra point from Dario Cirni is up and good. So deadlocked at 7. Both teams now on the board, and Guys, we're expecting a lot of points tonight, and after a 3-and-out from Wayne Hills, both offenses starting to get going now. I mean, we're talking a potential 50-40 final score tonight. We talked about some of the stats for these two quarterbacks, as well as the receivers who are headed to Division I schools, and you see the coaching staff getting these up. Wayne Hills is not used to getting punched in the mouth early in games, especially at home. They normally have that mental edge at home, where a lot of times the other team is beat before they even take the field. Not the case so far with Irvington, who scored immediately on their first drive. But Wayne Hills knows they have their hands full tonight.
Yeah, like you were saying, John, these are very, very evenly matched teams. Score 7-7, only a couple minutes into the game right now, into the first quarter, and both teams have scored. So I think this will be a trend we're going to see throughout the whole game, with both teams very talented offense and great defense from both. And on that play before, Tyler Herrick doing a great job getting open and making his way to get a touchdown. And with Luca Grave, we were talking about before, who's injured and not playing tonight, Dario Cerny, who's the field goal kicker, is going to line up for the kickoff on this play.
So Cerny on the kickoff here. They've had a couple of changes on special teams throughout the year, but overall, Wayne Hills' special teams rock, as there's a bouncing kick taken by the up man and falling across the 30. That was number 9, Karan Gray, who we'll see line up a wide receiver, getting in there on the return. Wayne Hills said they are not going to let the return men for Irvington beat them, so you check those bouncing kicks from Cerny for the entirety of this game, and I think Wayne Hills will take Irvington at the 32 every time.
You know, Cerny, he's also not one of those long kickers like Luca Grave is or Bensi Polgar, so he's more of a line drive, getting out there and letting it bounce. So good job there done by him. I believe it's kickoff on the year.
So Brown under center again for Irvington in a tie game. First play is a handoff, gain of a couple, not much doing. That was Blackman number 1, and Wayne Hills defense starting to show their toughness right now.
You see Nick Petracco getting in on it there, definitely fired up after that last recovery that he had on the floor there. See some stuff going on in the pile, so you know he's fired up right now. Good tackle by him. Way to recognize that play.
Well, Petracco filling in for Tyler Costello at linebacker. When Petracco's healthy, he's missed a few games this year. A big threat on both sides of the ball and lining up at middle linebacker for Wayne Hills. Handoff left, Blackman again. Battled up, not much there. Wayne Hills able to get in his way and stop him after a gain of 2 or 3. Good shiftiness from Blackman to get a couple there, but it'll be 3rd and 6 for Irvington.
So let me just take a few moments right now to get away from the game. I'm looking right now at the Wayne Hills bench, and I see Chris Rubio on there, who looks to me is in extreme pain with all his pads off, and he is not looking like he's okay right now. He took off his pads, and trainers are looking at him, so let's hope all the best for him.
He's a big part of the team, not really noticed in the stats, but he's on the field a lot on both sides of the ball. Brown going to air one out, looking very DeCarlo in coverage, and the flag flies. DeCarlo had that ball well covered, but the contact was made a little too early, and so it'll be 15 yards and a first down for Irvington.
You know, good coverage overall there by DeCarlo, but that's one of those plays where a high school player has trouble. They don't have that experience where you have to turn around at the last second, not hit them there to get a pass interference play.
But DeCarlo was in full sprint to try and keep up with the receiver and unable to turn his head, and contact made a little too early. So in high school football, it's like college football, 15 yards. You don't get it from the spot of the foul, so not as costly of a. And Irvington now into Wayne Hills territory at the 48. 2 receivers, Brown hands it off, and bottled up, stuffed up the middle. Wayne Hills getting in there quickly. That was Danny Musa, who is on the field right now for the Patriots. We were told he might be out tonight with an injury, but Musa at defensive tackle, not only in there, but making a big play there on first down. 2nd and 13 now for the Blue Knights.
Sorry to interrupt you, John, but last week, Danny Musa, he had an injury, I believe, in the 3rd quarter against Wayne Valley, so it's good to see him back here for the Wayne Hills defense.
Brown now in the shotgun with 2 men flanking him. They come to the near side. Catch is made, and good tackle, and then the finishing hit by DeVera. That was Jaron Hayek teeing him up for DeVera, who lowered the shoulder after a gain of only 3 yards, and 3rd and 10 coming for Irvington.
Very strong player, D1 athlete. That's not someone I would want to be hit by if he's bottling me up.
So 3rd and long here for Brown and company. Again, 2 men in the backfield with him. Low snap goes to the flat on the left. It's incomplete. Wayne Hills will force him to punt. Tried to run the swing play for Salam. And it's incomplete, and Wayne Hills will get the ball back.
So now the clock is winding down to 1:45 seconds of the first quarter. And it looks like it's going to be a Wayne Hills ball, so they'll lead the ball going into the second quarter right now, it looks like.
So we have Jaron Hayek and Hunter Goldberg back to return the punt.
Goldberg kind of the up man here with Jaron getting set to return it. It's a kick coming to the near sideline. Won't be returned. The bounce is going to take it inside 10 where it goes out of bounds. So Wayne Hills will be backed up pretty deep in their own territory after an ugly but successful kick from Javon Brown. Wayne Hills going to get it at their own 10.
You know, Javon Brown, talking him even more. He's the punter, he's the kicker, he's the quarterback. He's kind of like the Brendan DeVera of the Irvington school because, you know, Brendan punts for us, he's quarterback, he's a linebacker, so both great athletes and both doing a good job right now.
A lot of two-way players on this Irvington team. They have a handful of supreme athletes, and they're going to play both ways. You see Brown here on the near side of your screen on the right. He's playing corner right now for in addition to quarterback. Handoff Mangelli off right tackle and dragged down from behind by the defensive end after a gain of 5. So 5 more for Mangelli. Guys, he's not the usual starter. He's only a sophomore, but the Patriots are not shy to give him the ball with Grave out. They haven't really changed anything in terms of their play calling.
You know, I know Mangelli personally. He's also a baseball player. He's a great athlete. I talk about him all the time. He's very fast. He's very physical, and he does a great job. Even though he is not starting this his first start, he's doing a great job so far.
DeVera going to keep it this time and has a hole into the open field. Brendan DeVera, it's a foot race into Irvington territory. Javon Brown, the quarterback, chasing him, and he gets to him all the way at the Irvington 10. Outstanding run from Wayne Hills quarterback Brendan DeVera, and the Patriots will have a first down deep in Irvington territory. Mangelli seemed to have a hole, but DeVera called his own number. That's a scamper of better than 70 yards for Wayne Hills.
You know, at 6'2", 240, that man can run. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why D1 schools are looking at him so much. And just to say, it looks like Evidence Njoku is back on the field and playing, so that's good news for the Wayne Hills offense.
Well, there's some toughness from Njoku, who is getting a lot of attention on the sideline. And the trainers have shifted their attention to Ruby, whose shoulder is being put in a sling, which is not a good sign. And his pads have been taken off. So we initially noticed the injury to Njoku, but it appears the one to Ruby is more serious. Handoff Mangelli looking for the right. He's got some running room. Mangelli toward falling forward. He's in. The sophomore Mangelli stepping up, and Wayne Hills takes the touchdown lead.
That's a good job by the excited young Mangelli. Only a sophomore. I believe that is his first touchdown of the year.
You know, a great job done by him. You know, they're opening. Oh, I'm sorry, that's his second touchdown of the year. But he did find a way to get to the pylon, reach his hand out, and get a touchdown. So a great run by him, and the second touchdown of the year.
So Sierney on for the extra point. That's Mangelli's second touchdown. He had 20 carries and 126 yards coming into tonight on the season. So the third running back really for Wayne Hills. The starter tonight, Sierney's extra point is good. That's a strong one from Dario Sierney. Patriots up 14-7, 2 consecutive touchdowns after getting the big stop on defense. So both defenses with 1 stop so far. 33 seconds to go in the first quarter as we'll take a look at the seniors for Wayne Hills, guys.
Well, Wayne Hills will be kicking off here, but we see tonight 3 seniors tonight: John Stadler, Tyler Costello, and Danny Rodriguez, all outside linebackers. Tyler Costello out with an injury tonight. Great player all around, hits really hard, very aggressive athlete. John Stadler, very smart in school and on the field, knows what to do, and he's a captain, very smart kid. Also, Danny Josh Rodriguez, very good kid, very nice kid in school. I talk to him all the time, and also does very well on the field, knows how to hit people.
And we'll see all those guys in the field the season. Rodriguez making some impact on special teams. He's come in at linebacker at times. Stadler, the starting left tackle for Wayne Hills, and unfortunately Costello out tonight with an injury, but 41 tackles on the season for Tyler Costello, usually the starting middle linebacker, out tonight. Another bouncing kick. This one bobbled and fielded at the 30 and cleaned up quickly. Host of Patriots in on that hit. You had Petracco there for Wayne Hills, as well as number 6, Cuso, in on the tackle.
You know, although that there was a loss on the play, I'm not sure who it was that recovered the ball, but he's not someone that the Irvington team wants to recover. So good job done by him to just keep the ball in his hands and not let it fumble.
And it'll be interesting to see if Irvington makes an adjustment, maybe pulls their return guys up a little bit and try and get the ball in their hands, because they have some playmakers that can really run. So they stack the left side here on first down. Brown is going to give the ball to the back. That's Blackman falling forward. Gain of 3. Interesting, Irvington content to run the football a lot in the first quarter despite having the big arm in Brown, number 7. And that carry right there might take us to the end of the first.
Good tackle there by 63 Mike Saccone to get in, not let Brown get a huge gain.
Under 5 seconds, we'll see if they get it off. They do. Handoff, nope, play action. Brown throws over the middle, incomplete. Undershot the intended receiver. That was number 8, Nelson Gideon, who we saw make the opening play of the game. And that wraps up the first quarter with Wayne Hills on top of Irvington 14-7. Blue Knights trying to keep their undefeated season going. Patriots at 7-1, 7-0 in the state of New Jersey. Guys, analysis of the first quarter?
So, you know, by both teams, a great job done. Wayne Hills, they got a huge game by Evan Sajoku on the first play of the game, and then they got a penalty. Then they had to force punt in after 3 plays, so that's not something Wayne Hills is used to. So after that, after the score by the Blue Knights, they were out for blood, and they were not losing this first quarter. They always have a huge coming out in the first quarter, so great job done by them to get 2 touchdowns and be up by 1.
Commissioner of the NFL, would like to congratulate Wayne Hills.
So we're going to take a quick break here on Wayne Hills TV as we see a ceremony being taking place on. We'll take a quick break and be back for the second quarter in just a moment. Back here at Wayne Hills High School, second quarter of action coming. I'm John Vittas, here tonight with Brandon Brogan and Matt Clancy. Great first quarter of action, 3 touchdowns already on the board. 2 of them belong to Wayne Hills. They'll flip around. Irvington going to move from right to left now. They're in the white and the blue. Javon Silky Brown, the quarterback for the Blue Knights. That's what they call him, I promise. We talked to their coaches before the game as Silky hands it off this time. Little draw play up the middle. Not much there, gain of a couple. And it'll be 3rd and 4 after Blackman with another run.
You know, John, I'm glad you cleared that up. That's what the coaches call him and not just what you call him.
I don't know him that well.
That would be weird.
I promise I don't know. I've never talked to Javon, but they call They call him Silky. And there's another good nickname, too. Abdis Salam, to simplify it, they call him Nim. So we have Silky and Nim on the offense for Irvington. Silky with the kick this time. The punt's coming to the near side for Jaron Hayek, who bobbles the football. Not sure if he touched it. He's going to let Irvington get the football, but apparently he did not touch it. We'll see what the officials say, and it looks like they did down it. So Jaron Hayek selling it well enough to the officials, and Wayne Hills will get the football on a dangerous play.
You know, it looked like that the nerves did get to the sophomore Jaron Hayek. Although he is a great athlete and he does play, there's huge nerves going into a play like that, receiving the punt with big guys just running at you on it to mow you down.
So back to action, DeVera and the Wayne Hills offense. Mangelli will be to his left. He had the touchdown run to give Wayne Hills the lead. They send Hunter Hayek in motion. He's yet to touch the football, and they give it to Mangelli. Again off right tackle, falling forward for a gain of about 8. Good blocking from the right side of the offensive line. That's Jason Modak and Bensi Polgar on that side.
You know, as you guys can see on your screen, Mangelli is very clearly shorter than most of them, but he can play with guys double his height. He's such a great athlete, and he's doing a great job right now for the Wayne Hills offense.
And the line has been opening up some space for him. Doesn't need a lot of it. Again, not a big guy, but the line's done a great job tonight, not only blocking for Mangelli, but for DeVera. Scott Fishgrund is the center, along with Mike Saccone and John Stadler on the left side. The line's done a great job tonight. Here's the end around for Tyler Hayek, trying to find the sideline. He does. Turns the corner, has the first down, and taken out of bounds after a gain of about 5, maybe 6. Gets all the way to the Wayne Hills 35-yard line, and the Patriots move the chains.
You know, talk about our Wayne Hills line. They're doing a great job right now. Bunch of big players. You know, you have number 72, Bensi Polgar, 300 pounds, about 6'4". Jason Modak, a tri-sport athlete, playing varsity, all of them. So, bunch of great athletes and players up there for the Wayne Hills offensive line.
Tyler Hayek, just his second carry of the season right there. As DeVera hands it off to Mangelli this time. Not as much there this time around as the Irvington front holds strong. No gain on that play.
Looked like on the field that the ball was dropped by Mangelli and late, and Mike Saccone jumped on the ball as soon as he saw that, but I'm not sure what to call it. No, Wayne Hills recovered the ball back.
So the clock ticks under 10 minutes here in the first half. Patriots not in as much of a rush, now with the lead in hand. 3 receivers, that's Njoku on the far side, back into the game. Mangelli trying to shake a tackler, and he cannot. He had got around the edge there, would have had some space, but instead he falls forward for only 1. So 3rd and 9 coming. We might get a chance to see DeVera's arm.
And, you know, this is where I expect to see a big play from a player like Hunter Hayek or Tyler Hayek or even Evidence Njoku. 3rd and long situation, only up by 1 touchdown. This is what they need right here, 3rd down conversions.
And Anthony Cuso playing for Ruby at fullback a lot tonight. He's in the game. DeVera going deep. Evidence Njoku down the field. It's overthrown. Njoku had half a step on Javon Brown, but it was overthrown by DeVera.
Njoku, I'm sorry to interrupt you, John, but Njoku did the best job he could have there. A little overthrown by DeVera, so maybe an extra step for Njoku, and he had it.
Well, if Njoku is nursing a ankle injury, he might be a step or 2 slower right now, and DeVera overestimating what he has right now, and Njoku may be a little bit slower than usual right now, and that's the reason for that incompletion. 4th down, DeVera, the lefty kicker, ready to boot it away. This is a high end-over-end kick that's going to be fielded and dropped. Wayne Hills will fall on it. Turnover. Patriots will be setting up shop at the Irvington 25.
You know, right there, saw number 11 Jaron Hayek and number 18 Hunter Hayek in on the play to jump on the ball. So great job done by 2 of the Hayek brothers. So that just shows their athleticism.
We've got number 18 Hunter Hayek on the.
Well, the Wayne Hills Gunners got there in plenty of time to make the play. As there you see Hunter Hayek transitioned his thoughts to offense. Yet to make a catch tonight, but he is the leading receiver. 41 catches, 650 yards on the season for Hunter Hayek. Double-digit touchdowns already with 10. DeVera in the gun. They're going to go for the knockout punch. throw over the middle, almost intercepted. This time he underthrew it to Evidence Njoku, and it was knocked down by the safety.
A risky pass there by Brendan. You know, there was two guys crashing in Njoku, but he saw something open, and when he sees something open, he goes for it. He's a very good player, and he saw something there, but it was tipped away, luckily not intercepted.
Stanley Sylvain and John Brooks covering there for Irvington. As it's 2nd and 10 now for Wayne Hill. This time DeVera is going to run, get some space to the right side, shifts inside, and falls forward for a gain of about 7. So DeVera decided to cut it back in and does get a nice chunk there on 3rd down. Wayne Hill's now into field goal range for Dario Cierney, but they're thinking 1st down here on 3rd and 3.
You know, that'll be an interesting call by Coach Demikoff, whether or not they go for it if it comes down to a 4th down situation on a play like this, or they just settle with the field goal.
Well, Cierney definitely has the range for a field goal from maybe 36 yards. Mongelli cuts it to the outside, trying to get around the edge, and he gets the 1st down. Flag is down as Mongelli picks up about 10 yards. If the play stands, it'll be 1st and goal from the 10, but we'll see what the penalty is about. Came towards the spot where he was running, so it might be against the Patriots.
Really good job there by Mongelli to get around and find a hole, but there is a penalty on the Patriots, and it will not be a 1st down.
Looks like they're calling it on Mike Zaccone, number 63, who was at left guard there pulling for Mongelli. So they back him. Oh, it's going to be 3rd and 10. So now you're on the edges of field goal range, and Wayne Hills would love to get some yards here to make the decision a little bit easier. So Cuso at fullback. As we see number 24, Tyler DeVera, getting into the game for Wayne Hills. He is the receiver in the slot on the right side as Brendan drops back to pass, looking for his brother. Over the top, it's incomplete. Overshot his brother as the DeVera is unable to hook up, and it'll be 4th down. So decision time, guys, 4th and 10. From here would be a 34-yard field goal for Cierney.
It's not quite in punting range, obviously, for Wayne Hills right now. They're only about the 30. And also a little deep for Cierney to hit a field goal. Last week we saw, or 2 weeks ago, 41-yard field goal, which was short but on target. So looks like Wayne Hills is lining up to go for the 1st down. Go big or go home.
They're going for the big. 4th and 10. 3 receivers again, actually 4 as Jaron Hayek moves in motion. DeVera going to roll that way, looking right. Still looking, going for Jaron Hayek to the back pylon. Touchdown, Wayne Hill! DeVera to the corner for the younger brother, Jaron Hayek, who was able to shed the defender, go up and make the catch.
What a great pass right there by Brendan DeVera. I mean, just hooking up with one of his favorite receivers. The same thing in Roxbury and against PV. Jaron Hayek had a passing touchdown. Great job by that young player. Great job by Brendan DeVera.
So Jaron Hayek, he was moving on the play as we saw, and the defenders were not able to keep an eye on him. Like Brandon was saying, great job by him to get open.
What body control from Jaron Hayek to turn away from the defender and then go up and make that catch. And the snap is botched. They flip it. Cierney looking to throw, lobs one, and it's intercepted. And so the extra point will not count, and it'll remain 20-7. He was looking for a teammate in the end zone and threw it right to the Irvington defender. That was number 50, Teron Galashaw, on the pick.
You know, that's not I've ever seen done by this Wayne Hills kicking. But, you know, like I was talking about before, Wayne Hills go big or go home. So right there they went big past 2 plays.
Well, you know, we're not sure of right there. We could see quite from our angle was, I'm not sure if the holder didn't get a very good hold there. It seemed that there was a miscommunication back there. So possibly what happened there is the holder, Mario knows soon enough that it had to be a trick play.
I think the snap was botched. I'm not sure if that's on the holder or the snapper, but Wayne Hills unable to convert the extra point, and so it's 20-7. That could loom large later on in the game. We'll have to see if Irvington can get the necessary points. So 20-7 Patriots, and Irvington going to have to figure out this Wayne Hills defense.
So now Dario's lining up again for his 3rd kickoff of the game. they just had their third touchdown. So Wayne Hills doing a great job with their offense and defense.
So Hayek now with 27 receiving yards, couple catches, and a touchdown. All three brothers heavily involved tonight for the Patriots. Here's another bouncer as it hops over the up man, trying to backtrack towards the near side. And get in the corner. Number 32 for Irvington. That would be Dejon Graves.
You know, looked like Deshaun was pushed out of bounds, and we saw from here that he almost ran into the cheerleader. So a scary moment for the girls over there, and a good job done by the up man to get some yardage.
So 7:24 to go here in the first half. And Javon Brown back to work for Irvington. Again, this is an undefeated Irvington team, 8-0. Two receivers to the right. Brown gonna go that way. Throws over the middle, and it's dropped. That was Provolone, the junior, who was open down the field, unable to haul it in. The throw was a little low, but very catchable for the future Division I receiver.
You know, although the pass was dropped, I think that's one of the reasons why they do call him Silky Brown. So you can see a good pass there, but should have been caught from the Irvington offense.
He is pretty smooth in his throwing motion. He's got a lot of length as well. Stands at 6'4", and definitely room to fill out.
Yeah, John, silky smooth, I would say.
The only one. The coaches love him. Javon Brown, the quarterback for Irvington, as Wayne Hills calls timeout. So first timeout of the half with 7:17 to play in the second here on senior night. As the Patriots trying to get their defense on the same page. Back stops against this Irvington team. Maybe we get a chance to showcase some of the seniors here with both teams trying to design something here on 2nd and 10.
So far defensively this game, Mike Zaccone has the most tackles on the defense with 3.
So right now Wayne Hills, about 7 minutes and 17 seconds left. They are winning at a score of 20-7. They have gone touchdowns. So right now Wayne Hills is in the lead, and they want to keep that going into the second half.
So 2nd and 10 here for Irvington. Working from right to left against a somewhat banged up Wayne Hills defense, but playing well so far. 4 receivers, 2 to either side for the Blue Knights. And here's the snap. Brown looking to the right, throws to the flat. It's complete. Trying to get around the corner as the receiver able to fall forward for 5. Good tackle made over there by Jaron Hayek. That was
Tyler, actually, John. And, you know, they're easily to get mistaken. They're all over the field, and you never know who's who.
And they all have a 1 at the beginning of their number. 11, 18, and 19. Jaron is 11. Hunter's 18. Is number 19.
I think they're trying to confuse us up here. It's not that easy to see from this angle.
So a big play coming here, 3rd and 5. Brown looks towards the near side. The throw is high. Had his man open in the flat. That was Karan Gray, or excuse me, Gideon, number 8.
And not such a smooth play there by Silky Brown.
So Wayne Hills defense lining up here on 4th down, looking for punt reception right now. Silky Smooth Brown up for the punt. Wayne Hills, Hunter Hayek is in the back, looking for a huge gain here.
Looks like Wayne Hills might come after the kick. They kind of hold back and they fake it. Brown's circling around. Wayne Hills has it snuffed out. Now he kicks it, and it goes out of bounds after a very short gain. So he avoids disaster by getting the kick off, but it's a very short punt, a 7-yard punt, and Wayne Hills takes over.
You know, although that's not something you see every day, not something I've ever seen at any level of football, but actually a smart play done by Silky Brown. I mean, there was no gain to be made in the play. The only thing they would have done is been at the 50, and now he got the ball about 10, 12 yards out, so good job done by him. Pretty silky, I could say.
Good last-minute decision-making by Brown, who was in serious distress. Wayne Hills does get good field position at their own 43. The end around, DeVera keeps, gets through the middle, has space. Brendan DeVera into the open field again and tripped up after a gain of 18. Into Irvington territory and all the way down to the 38-yard line. The safety got him low. Otherwise, it may have been a touchdown for DeVera.
You know, Brendan DeVera right now had, I believe, 2 completion passes, or 3, I'm sorry, and that's his 3rd rushing, and he's has over 100 yards rushing right now in this game, so he's doing a great job making this team get upfield and get points.
And Mongelli, the tailback, 9 carries, 36 yards, and a touchdown tonight. They're going to throw this time over the top and knocked away. Njoku got a step again, and Javon Brown getting back there to bat it down, using that long arm to reach out and knock it away from Njoku at the last moment. A little more air under that ball, and that's 6 for Wayne Hills.
There seems to be, that I see, a little discommunication between Njoku and DeVera. Either it's that DeVera is underestimating his injury or even overestimating it. So right now you've seen 2 underpass and 1 over, so they need to get that together for a big win here and a huge gain for Njoku.
Well, that throw was probably the most accurate of the 3, but good play by Brown. DeVera, after the hesitation, is up for no gain on 2nd down. May have even lost a yard. So 3rd and 11 coming up for the Patriots. Not field goal range yet. So 4-down territory probably for Wayne Hills. So DeVera gets the sign from the coaches here on the near side. You see Jelly there on the right. As he's going to come out of the game, they're going to get Tyler Hayek in. Petracco comes out. So all 3 Hayek brothers to the near side. And Kuso, the fullback. DeVera, duck head, looks to the right, comes to the flat. Hunter Hayek, the catch, somehow able to shake 1 defender and then taken down for no gain after falling forward against the 2nd defender. So no gain on that play, which was blown up by the Irvington secondary. And Wayne Hills is going to punt here, and Dario Sears in the field. He's actually the up man, so DeVera will kick it. On 4th and 11, Wayne Hills at the Irvington 39. They're going to punt it away.
I don't know if you were able to see at home, but it looked like in the backfield that Njoku and Silky Smooth Brown were having a little beef in the backfield, so maybe we'll see something later on in the game.
Great punt from DeVera, but it does find the end zone. Hunter Hayek was the closest man to it, but it did fall forward into the maroon and white checkerboard over there. So it'll be a touchback, and Irvington will get it at their own 20. That goes down as a 39-yard punt, a net of only 19, and Javon Brown will start from there.
So let's see what Silky and the gang can do on offense.
We haven't seen much from a couple of their receivers. Karan Gray, James Eli, and Josiah Provolone are the 3 receivers able to hit him tonight. He's going to call his own number here, and he's smothered. Great defensive play. Kai Sali, number 54, getting into the backfield to take down Javon Brown. Terrific play by Sali, who is a starter at defensive end. The senior comes through.
You know, Sali, a player, do not get to talk a lot about that much because the stats aren't there for him. But all year he's done a great job on the defensive line, getting in and giving the passer some rush.
3 men in the backfield. They send Provolone in motion. Brown back to pass on 2nd and long. Goes over the top, deep down the far sideline. And it's incomplete. Tyler Hayek on the coverage. They wanted a flag. It looked like Hayek had his arms wrapped around the waist of the intended receiver, Karan Gray, who has 6 touchdown catches on the year, and they went deep for him that time. They had the one-on-one coverage and didn't get the call.
You know, pretty good coverage there by Tyler Hayek. You know, it could have gone either way on a play like that. Could have been called pass interference. As we see, it wasn't, but I think a great job done by him to not let the pass get down for a huge gain.
3rd and 15 for Irvington. Brown gonna throw. Looks over the middle, and it's incomplete. Good defense, and here comes the flag. Hunter Hayek broke it up, but it looks like it's going to be a penalty against him. So Tyler got away with one, and then perhaps a makeup call against Hunter. That looked like a well-timed hit at safety.
You know, like you were saying, John, I do believe that was, as they call it, a makeup call in sports, because it seemed to be there was a little botch on the last play. It was probably pass interference, but this play, to us here in the booth, was definitely not. So tough call there by the referees.
So I guess it evens out in the end as Irvington gets an automatic first down there on 3rd and long. And so 1st and 10 for Brown. Brown under center this time. Wayne Hills brings pressure. They run it with Blackman, who spins forward for a gain of about 3. So Al Blackman getting the bulk of the carries on offense for Irvington. Eventually, Brown is going to have to connect on some of these deep passes. They've given him a few tries, and he has been unable to come through so far. Just a couple completions for Javon Brown.
I'm also noticing in the backfield right now, between Wayne Hills and Irvington, some after play hits and some pushing between the players. So it's a very tight-knit game right now.
Brown around the end. Matouk providing pressure, and Brown spins off a couple tacklers and is met. A loss on the play as Chris Pasterla wrapped him up after Matouk got into the backfield. Good as well for Mike Saccone, the linebacker, number 63. So Wayne Hills having their way right now with Javon Brown, who's getting all kinds of frustrated. 3rd and 9 for him. This is a big play. They really need this one. Do the Blue Knights. Under 3 minutes to play. This might be their last possession of the first half.
Hills is looking for a huge stop here and not let Irvington Blue Knights get a first down.
He's looking deep. Got hit as he threw, but it's over the top. Provolone goes up. He's met in midair, and he comes down with the football. Great catch by Josiah Provolone, although Tyler Hayek has 2 mitts on the football. Great shot down there at the field level. And it looks like they do give the catch to Provolone. So over the top, Brown finally completes a long ball. Good effort from Tyler Hayek, but that one goes Irvington's way, and they have a first down in Wayne Hills territory.
You know, I think that's why Provolone is being looked at by those schools like John was talking about before, the Michigans of the country. Like, that's one of those plays that a player like that needs to be able to make to go to one of those schools.
Low pass that time, incomplete. Again, a misfire from Brown. That was Karan Gray, the intended receiver again.
And you saw Silky Brown there on that play, hitting them deep. And Provolone just got up. Great catch by Provolone there.
That's his first catch. Brown has been pretty inconsistent, but that was a big one. They really needed that play, down 2 touchdowns. And now inside the Wayne Hills 30 on 2nd and 10. Hand it off. Not much there. DeVera, the first man backfield.
You know I've talked about it a few times already now, but I'm noticing so many after the play hits and talking going on between the two players. It seems to be like, you know, as we can see, it's a very physical game right now going on between Wayne Hills and Irvington. So it seems like the pressure and the heat is getting to some of those guys.
Zaccone's been the main tackler on defense for Wayne Hills. Made another one there. 3rd and 8. They run the swing pass. Wayne Hills brought pressure. Blackman gets a block. Gets inside. Towards the sticks. Into the open field. Al Blackman inside the Wayne Hills 10. Good moves on the inner third of the field for Al Blackman. Wayne Hills wants a fumble, and they're going to say that he was down by contact. There's a flag on the play on the far side of the field as the clock under 2 minutes now. The flags are past the first down marker, so we'll see what the decision is here.
Looks like the clock just passed a 2-minute warning at about minute 45 seconds. So the first half is winding down as we're talking about. Wayne Hills up by 20. Irvington with 7 about the 15-yard line, and penalty being called as we speak.
And it's a personal foul on Irvington. Oh, maybe both ways. There it is. So they offset, and they won't really count.
You know, like again, I'm saying I think the referees are starting to notice all the after-play hits and jabbering going on between the two teams. So that's catching on to both of them. Personal foul called on both.
And you know, one thing referees try to do is cut that out right away on sportsmanlike conduct. Big penalties out there.
First and goal from the 7. Blackman, a sidestep to his right, headed towards the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Irvington. Al Blackman on the touchdown run, and the Blue Knights are within a score.
You know, although I'm not for the Irvington team, Al Blackman, who I'm noticing here is doing a great job. It looks like he's in Madden and he's just hit the button and he cuts to the right, because he does a really good job of stopping his feet and somehow cutting in the other direction. I mean, I feel like I'm playing Madden. I have a controller in my hands and I just click right and he...
Or R1.
R1, yeah. I mean, and we're seeing hit sticks going on all game too.
That seems to be his big move. Brown on for the extra point. It's straight up in the air and short. Hunter Hayek caught it in the back of the end zone. So both teams unable to convert on their extra point tries, and so it's a 7-point game. 20-13. Wayne Hill still leads by 7.
That was not a silky play there by Silky Brown on that one. A kick that was botched up in the air to a point where I can't even see.
For the height rather than the distance on that one. It went straight up.
He went for the finesse points there, you know, extra points for that height.
It almost seemed like a punt out there.
It had that kind of trajectory,
It
you're
did.
right.
He milked it in the air for as long as he could.
So Wayne Hills will get the ball back, 132. Both teams might just run out the clock in these spots, but Wayne Hills has the players to put up points with 1.5 minutes to go and 2 timeouts.
Wayne Hills is such an aggressive team that they're not the type of team, like John's saying, to just run out the clock with 1:30 left in the half. You know, right now we have Njoku lining up in the backfield, who has had 2 huge runs on kick returns, even despite his injury. So right now, let's see if him or Hunter Hayek both lining up in the backfield. Let's see which one gets the ball and what damage they can do for this Wayne Hills offense leading up into the second half.
Well, Njoku with 90 return yards tonight on only 2 kickoffs. So he's been a weapon. Both of his returns have gone into Irvington territory. Wayne Hills has not allowed the Blue Knights return men to do anything tonight. They've been kicking it to the upbacks. But the Blue Knights will now take a page out of the Patriots playbook, and that is not a good squib kick at all. Fallen on at the 46-yard line by 58. Scott Fish, center, was able to fall on that one.
Yeah, Scott Fishgren, I think I can see him right now on the screen, number 58, the center. He's a very big guy, and he's not the type of guy you want to have the ball. So he just fell on it, so there's no way to get a fumble on that play.
So smart play by him, and the Patriots have good field position, but a flag before the snap. Or, excuse me, a timeout called by Irvington. So that's their first timeout. And they'll re-talk things over here.
You know, with 1:30 left on the clock, Wayne Hills, for me, I would go look deep on a play like this, and I think that's what Irvington is fearing right now. Timeout. They want to make sure that they have one of their best men on the best receivers, which is pretty much all of our receivers. So it's such a triple threat or quadruple threat even with 3 Hayeks and Njoku. So there's so many methods right now Wayne Hills has that they can do right here. So we'll find out now coming up after the timeout.
We talked about the receiving threats for Irvington as well. They have 4 legitimate receivers that they can go to, but we haven't really seen a couple of them because of Brown's inability to distribute the ball accurately. But DeVera has been a little bit better tonight, and that's why Wayne Hills has the lead, although I think Brendan will tell you this has not been his performance. But he's done a lot of damage with his legs, and he has made a couple of key throws, particularly the touchdown to Jaron Hayek, which came on a later down, which allowed Wayne Hills to take the lead. So Wayne Hills lines up 1st and 10 from their own 47. 1:29 to go in the half. DeVera going to look to throw, comes to the right. Njoku has it on the slant. Taken down from behind after a gain of 16. So that's his first catch of the day after 3 passes from DeVera went begging. And this time Njoku looking strong. He is committed to the University of Miami, so he'll be an ACC receiver before long. Devera looks to the right this time, throws to the sideline, incomplete. Threw a little too early that time, intended for Tyler Hayek, number 19.
You know, although there's a rush on the play, they want to get it done fast. I think that was done a little too fast. You know, they have to take their time to pass because the receiver wasn't even ready to catch the ball. He barely turned around by the time the ball was to him with the laser throw by Devera.
You see Kuso flanking Devera in the gun. 2nd and 10. They're going to throw again. Changes his look, now going left. Deep for Njoku towards the front pylon. Touchdown! Evidence Njoku on the deep ball. And Wayne Hills has their 4th touchdown of the half. On Njoku is their deep ball threat. His 7th touchdown of the year. And the Patriots back up by 2 scores.
You know, Njoku, I kind of had a slow start to this season, coming out with only a few receptions here and there. The past, I would say, 4 weeks, he's been doing a fantastic job. He's been one of the leading receivers along with the Hayek brothers, obviously, who now Brendan is kind of getting more and more comfortable with the transfer from this year. Njoku committed to Miami, as we said before.
Well, we asked if they had enough time with 1:32 to go in the half. They only needed 26 seconds to score. Sierney for the extra point. It's true as flags fly. Maybe more personal fouls. A couple of guys went down there around the line of scrimmage. Evidence Njoku had a 3-week stretch in which he scored 5 touchdowns. That was snapped last week at Wayne Valley. But back into the end zone tonight for his 7th touchdown of the season, averaging almost 15 yards per catch on the year. As the personal foul against Irvington will be assessed on the kickoff, but Njoku just over 300 yards receiving on the year. Not the kind of numbers that'll jump out at you, but the size, the speed, and you saw the catching ability there. That was not an easy catch. Kind of had to wheel around towards the sideline to haul that ball in over his shoulder.
You know, what isn't on the stats like what John is talking about is the pass blocking. Like, on a play where Devera's looking deep, Njoku and Hay offside. Njoku does a great job of blocking the cornerbacks and not letting them get to the ball. So that also doesn't go on the stats, which I noticed a lot, and he does a great job of.
Well, he knows how to use his body, which is something that's hard to teach. And he has a lot of size at 6'4", and he'll certainly be a threat for the Hurricanes for the next few years. And you see the meeting between him and Tyler Hayek. And you have a couple 6'4" receivers right there. Both will be headed to power conference schools. Tyler Hayek on the left is going to play safety at Rutgers. I mean, those are serious players to have on your side when you talk about heading into the playoffs. As Wayne Hills is going to kick this one off from Irvington territory at the 45 after the 15-yard penalty. So maybe Sierney looking for the field goal here. Think he can get it through the uprights?
And he's got the range for it, but, you know, he's not quite – oh.
They hit a line drive into the end zone for a touchback as they just tried to line it over Blackman's head.
Sierney doing a great job there. I thought personally he'd go for the field goal for a few extra points, but that wasn't his thought process in that play.
Got to listen to Coach Johnson, the special teams guru, just trying to get it over Blackman so there wouldn't be a return, and that's exactly what he did. So we'll see if Brown takes some shots here with 1:06 to go. Irvington has 2 timeouts to work with.
So now we'll see if Milky Silky Brown can do what Brendan Devera could with as little time.
He's got 1:06 to play with and more yards needed for the score. They're going to open up with 5 receivers, so it looks like Irvington's going to take their chances. Wayne Hills would love an opportunity over here. Brown looking to the right side. It is incomplete. Probably better off that he didn't catch it because the clock would have ran.
Pass intended for number 5, Stephen St.
That was Stephen Pierre, the 5th receiver, now on for Irvington.
Good job there by Tyler Hay. Get on the first incompletion.
Brown in the gun, 5 receivers again, goes over the middle, batted down. Njoku was there on defense to bat that ball down, and that's why you have to be careful if you're Irvington. A turnover would be worst case scenario, and we almost saw one right there from Evidence and the linebackers who were there to almost scoop it up. Pasterlo looked like he was close as Kuso comes in for Njoku.
Njoku just showing his great athleticism through this whole game. Like John was saying, he really knows how to use his body. And exactly as he said, you don't teach that. You have to know that.
Hunter Goldberg is back at safety for Wayne Hills as he comes up to make the tackle here on Blackman, who fights forward for the first down. So the clock will stop temporarily with 43.8 seconds to go. Got to consider a timeout here if you're Irvington unless you have 2 plays called. But the clock is going to run in just a couple of seconds. They got set up very quickly. And here goes the clock. 4 receivers in a back. Brown gets the snap. Has time, looking to the right. He's going to run and pushed out of bounds. That will stop the clock after a gain of a couple. Stopped at 31 seconds. So nothing there, and Javon Brown able to get out of bounds. Probably one more completion needed to set up a potential Hail Mary.
Javon Brown is becoming more similar to Brendan DeVera than I thought he would. You know, he's able to run, he's able to play defense, he does everything. And he's number 7, just like Brendan DeVera.
I was about to say, number 7's both a quarterback. There's a completion over the middle. They're going to have to hurry again. There's the first catch for Karan Gray, who's one of their go-to receivers. We haven't seen him make a grab tonight. As the clock stops with 24 seconds to go, it looks like they called time. So Irvington uses their second timeout of 3, and they're in Wayne Hills territory at the 45. So you have time for 3, maybe 4 plays, and I would assume they need at least 15, if not 20 yards to get into field goal range here. Actually, probably more than that at the 45, and we saw on kicking earlier. So they're going to take some shots here with 24 seconds to go, trying to make it a 1-score game.
Yeah, John, I agree with you. You know, they're at the 45-yard line, so even if Silky Smooth Brown's labor put a little more silk on it, there's no way he can get a 55-yard field goal. Most professional field goal kickers have trouble with that.
We saw him come up short on an extra point, so he's going to have to hit it better if they try a field goal this time around.
I think what he should do is put the loft as the distance and the distance as the loft on the next kick from the field goal before.
I see what you're saying. That might work for him.
It went so high that maybe he would have been able to make it from 45 yards out. You never know.
It looked like he uses the towing method when he's kicking. It's not soccer style for Brown. Kind of goes straight on.
Well, unconventional by Silky there, but great player and great athlete as he's shown today.
4 receivers for him. They send Gray in motion. He's going to throw, comes to the near side. Not much there. It's Gray again. Short gain. They run the clock. And so they're going to have to burn a timeout. Pasterla in there on the tackle. A gain of a few, maybe 4 yards at most. And so they have to use their final timeout with 15 seconds to go. So now you're talking a quick out route or just a couple shots to the end zone.
You know, with the way that the offense of Irvington works, you know, with Provolone and Silky Smooth Brown working as a dynamic duo, you never know what they have up their sleeves. Maybe they could go deep, but hopefully Wayne Hills does a good job with coverage on the plays.
So they're trying to draw something up here. You don't have a lot of plays in the playbook for these types of situations, so we'll see what the Irvington coaching staff can come up with. Wayne Hills working with a 5-man secondary here. As again, Hunter Goldberg, number 2, is in the game to play safety. And DeVera has backed up as well to play in the secondary. So you have prevent defense for Wayne Hills. Brown throws it to the flat again. This is Blackman cutting back inside. He's got to get the first down to have a chance to spike it. And they're going to mark him down right at the sticks. They stop the clock temporarily with 5.9 seconds. They're going to have to spike the football or just take a shot to the end zone. And timeout called.
It looked like they're on the last play that they were going to go for a long pass, but a screen there to doing a great job getting a first down. So let's see what Silky Smooth Brown wants to do here with the clock running down.
It looked like they stopped the clock to move the chains, and now they're trying to get a substitution in, and it looks like that should end the half.
I did not think that Silky Smooth Brown knew that the clock was running down there, so tough play there for him.
Looks like Silk milked the clock that time.
Nice one, Brandon. Well played. That's how we'll end the half. Great half for Wayne Hills, leading 27-13. Both teams missing an extra point. Wayne Hills with 4 scores, Irvington with 2. They lead by 14 at the break. Good half for Brendan DeVera through the air. Nice touchdown catch by Jaron Hayek here in the first half, and Joe Mangelli filling in nicely at running back for the Patriots. Teams will take their break towards the locker rooms, and we'll have a chance to watch the Wayne Hills Marching Band under the direction of Matthew Paterno. Wayne Hills Marching Band here on senior night with their performance.
Gentlemen, tonight we are honoring the senior members of the Wayne Hills Patriot Marching Band and their families. Our first honoree is Olivia Catania, who is our color guard captain. She is accompanied by her parents Ingrid and John, brother Dylan, and sister Lucy. Next is Danielle Casagriola, clarinet player, with her dad Jack, brother Anthony, and sister Lena. Then bass drummer Gary Darish, accompanied by his parents Kathy and Gary. Color guard member Sarah Esser is with her mom and dad Elisa and Nate Esser. Drum major and piccolo player Dana Finkelstein is accompanied by her parents Andy and Ron. Tuba player Emily Fitzgerald is with her parents Mary and Dave. Mark Gillespie, trombone player, is with his parents Jody and Joe. Jessie Hinners, a color guard member, is accompanied by her parents Barbara and Bruce. Bill Joseph, equipment manager and saxophonist, is with his parents Diane and Robert and his brothers Rob and Tim. Band secretary and clarinetist Linda Liu is with her mother Jin Zhang and her father Shin Liu. Russ Mamadov, saxophonist, is accompanied by his parents Rosa and Kamal and his brother Ryan. Max Mazza, equipment manager and baritone player, is with his parents Barbara and Steve and brother Jake. Danielle McKnight, a member of our pitch, is with her mom and dad Helen and James. Daisy Mackey and band president and mellophone player Madison Mackey are accompanied by their parents Kim and Rex. Trumpet player Katie Moskal is with her parents Angela and Joe. Snare drummer Alyssa Olivia is with her parents Ulrich and Frank. Band vice president and saxophone player Clark Pellington is accompanied by his parents Donna and Clark and his sister Chloe. And finally, Alexis Rossi, publicity officer and piccolo player, is accompanied by her parents Kim and Mike, sister Amanda, and brother Anthony.
He's here. He's here somewhere. He's had a bye week.
On behalf of the Wayne Hills Patriot Marching Band, we thank you seniors for your service to our band, our school, and the community. We love you all. And now we invite you to listen to our superior rated band perform our 2016 show, The Launch. Thank you.
Clear the launch pad of all unnecessary parents. Patriot 16, mission control. We are T-minus 3 hours of movement. Flight crew, it is time to suit up in your flight gear and walk to the launch.
I was just joking.
behind us, 9 minutes. And we have started final go, no-go to check. Right crew, close and lock visors. Sit back, ladies and gentlemen. Dreams are created. T-minus 10 seconds. Ignition sequence start. All engines running. Patriot 16, you are clear for liftoff. Godspeed.
salute with an appropriate standing round of applause for the Wayne Hills Patriots marching band under the direction of Matt Paterno. And let's welcome the Patriot cheerleaders.
It was like really tight. It was really tight. Yeah, that's fine.
Welcome to a special Wayne Hills playoff preview. It's halftime here at Wayne Hills against the Irvington Blue Knights. Wayne Hills is the 1 seed in the state tournament and looks to make a major comeback from a tough loss in MetLife last year against Old Japan. So Wayne Hills has done a really great job as a team this season, posting a 7-1 record, led by guys like Brennan DeVera and the Hayeks. Marosh, what are your thoughts on Wayne Hills going into the postseason?
The Patriots, they really have nothing to be afraid of right now. They've shown time and time and again they can win tough games. Even if these tough games have come against teams that you really should be beating by more than single digits or just close to double digits. You really should be blowing these teams out of the water. Like Roxbury, for example, they were heavily outmatched, and after coming back from a third quarter deficit, produced a fantastic fourth quarter comeback that was, sure, it was good for morale, but really Coach Demikoff would like to see a blowout win against teams like Roxbury or even teams like Wayne Valley. Like, understandably, the crosstown rivalry obviously produces nerves and tensions, so you're going to have a close game. But on paper, the Patriots really stacked up against the Indians, so a win's a win, but you really like to see more offensive, just firepower going down against these weaker teams.
Yeah, a lot of people say that Roxbury was a turning point for the Patriots, as they had 5 fumbles and a lot of drop passes in the end zone, 7 of them, 4 of them by Evidence, their star wide receiver. So what they look to do is to limit a lot of these mental mistakes, and I think they've done that. I mean, their last game against Valley, definitely a little shaky. I think Wayne Hills will come out tonight a lot stronger. And then, so when they do go into the first round of the playoffs, which could be either Roxbury or Northern Highlands, but more than likely Roxbury because it's only a 2-point difference. So anyone that wins tonight will give Roxbury that edge. So we'll be seeing them again in the first round. Alec, we'll be facing Roxbury in the first round. What are your thoughts on that game?
I mean, Roxbury, they're a good team. They can get the job done. I mean, last time we played them, it was a lot closer than it should have been, considering we played very sloppy. I think we had 5 fumbles that game. Yeah. There was even a play where we intercepted the ball and then fumbled the same play, and they got it back. We just played very sloppy, and I think if Wayne Hills and Brendan DeVerick can buckle down and not have so many drops, I believe Evidence had a lot of drops that game, and so did Hunter Hack and who's the other Hack?
Tyler Hack.
Tyler Hack. They had a lot of combined drops, and if they can buckle down, not make so many mental mistakes, I think they can prevail and win the game.
Then on the other hand, you saw against teams like Milburn with the 56-0 blowout that Wayne Hills is capable of producing big time against opponents they should be beating. So really, I don't think Patriots fans should be nervous going into these playoffs. We're in a good position right now.
And then looking a little bit further into the semifinals, if Wayne Hills does beat Roxbury, we could be facing 2 pretty good teams, Fairlawn and West Morris. Both of them sitting at 7-1, but West Morris really a true 7-1 team, accumulating over 40 more power points than Fairlawn. Fairlawn had definitely a lot easier schedule, as West Morris, their only loss did come to Sparta, who is in fact a very good team. Mirosh, what are your thoughts on the possibility of this semifinal?
At this point, state semifinals, it really doesn't even matter who you should be playing. At that point, I should be geared towards MetLife, and you should be on a mission. So West Morris and Fairlawn, like you said, both 7-1. Although Fairlawn's had that weaker schedule, you could say that they're similar teams with similar records. So Wayne Hills should approach this just like they'd approach any other game. No stress. I mean, treat it like you would treat a regular season game against a league opponent and just play the game that the Wayne Hills Patriots know how to play, and hopefully it would result in a berth at MetLife.
Well said, well said. As Fairlawn, in fact, their only loss came to Old Tappan, which is a team that Wayne Hills beat earlier in the year. Alec, your thoughts on the semifinal?
I think the semifinal game is going to be a well-fought game. Whoever plays, it's going to be a good game. What Wayne Hills needs to do is just think about this game and this game only, not look forward, not look ahead into the finals at MetLife. What they need to do is to treat it like every other game, like Moreau said, and they need to just do what they've been doing all season. They need to just put points on the board and beat this team and move on to the next round.
Yeah, it'll be tough against West Morris as they've been able to flat out produce. Thank you for watching this special Wayne Hills playoff preview. Let's send it back to the field for second half action with our announcers, John Vittas, Brandon Brogan, and Matt Klarberg. Guys, take it away.
John Vittas welcoming you back live to Patriot Stadium here in Wayne, New Jersey. Wayne Hills leading Irvington 27-13 at the half in what is a tremendous high school football matchup here in early November. Joined here with Matt Klarberg and Brandon Brogan, a couple of students at Wayne Hills. It is senior night. We're honoring the seniors throughout the game today. We got a chance to look at some of the graphics with the headshots of the seniors who are playing their final regular season home game here tonight. We're going to take a look at some of the other guys, and we're going to have Brandon and Matt talk about some of their buddies here at school.
So I'll talk about this one. We got, starting off, middle linebacker, number 30, Zach Miller. He, throughout the years he's been on the football team, he hasn't had that much time, but he's a very devoted player to this Wayne Hills football team, so it's very nice to see him back this year. Middle linebacker, Nick Petrocco, number 1. We've seen a lot of him this game. Defense, doing a great job getting on the ball. And also Anthony Cuso is a linebacker as well as a fullback. So him tonight getting a lot of play. All 3 of them doing great jobs tonight. And we'll see Zach Miller probably get in later tonight. So, Brandon, you talk about this one.
So 3 more players here. Omar Chagarabov, Danny Musa, Kai Sali, all defensive line. We see a lot from Kai Sali, one of the quicker players on the defensive line, so he's always usually in on the tackles up front. Also, Danny Musa, very big player, about 265, does a lot. And Omar's about 6'3", 200 pounds. So he's also, we got a very big line, and one quick guy, Kai Sali, doing really well for the senior.
You know, to take it away from just football for a second, Omar, I don't know how to say his last name, but he gives one of the cleanest cuts in all of Wayne, New Jersey. So if you need a haircut, you call him and you go to his garage for a haircut. So let me talk about this one. So Hunter Goldberg, he's a multi-sport athlete as well. He plays lacrosse, and we see him in this game as well. Dominic DiCarlo, he's done a great job. He started all year long, playing great corner and also on the offensive side. Joe Peischel, his brother, I believe, is one of the coaches. Him also kind of not that much play this year, but he's also a very devoted player to this team. Brandon, you talk about this next one.
So 3 more players here. Fullback Chris Ruby, he did a really good job so far this year. More of a blocking running back that's very good. You don't hear his name too much because of a stat issue, but he makes a lot of tackles. He fires up the team and is really good in the backfield. Luca Grave injured tonight, one of the biggest players of the year. Done a really good job through his Wayne Hills career. And Jake Casal, who also had a lot of promise this year, unfortunately injured his ACL, is not able to play. He's done a very good job through his high school career.
You know, with that graphic, we see 3 very talented athletes, but tonight all 3 of them are not playing in this game because of injuries. So let's move on to the next graphic. A bunch of wide receivers and huge threats for this Wayne Hills offense. From 19, Tyler Hayek. Everyone knows who this guy is. He's in on every play, offense and defense. Evidence Njoku, recent transfer from Cedar Grove, committed to the University of Miami. All these guys are going to be committed to D1. Tyler and Evidence both committed. Hunter later will be committed from Stony Brook and Fordham.
Those are the big play threats, those last 3 guys we saw on the screen. The trio of receivers, all Division I talents, all very physical players, and they'll be a big of the second half of action. We're going to bring in Dylan Oren-King, who was on stats in the first half. He's going to do some announcing in this half as well, along with the guys you're used to hearing as Wayne Hills tries to put away the win and go for their 8th consecutive victory here in the second half. They lost the opener to Pahokee in Florida, which is the southeastern region of the state, inland, so off the coast. Pahokee has not lost a game all season. So not only did Wayne Hills lose to a Florida high school team, that alone is okay because Florida has some of the best high school football in the country. They lost to a premier Florida high school team. So nothing to hang your heads on there. It was also a close game. All of Wayne Hills' wins have been impressive, and their one loss close to a very impressive team. Second half underway. The up man taking it to the near side here. We'll see what adjustments are made. There's the fumble. Wayne Hills picks it up and then loses it themselves, and they're going to pick it up inside the 25. So a big turnover to start the half. They've gone with the squib kicks all night long. And number 32, DeJean Graves again trying to make a play to the near side. He coughs it up, and Wayne Hills, who was supposed to start the half on defense, will instead start on offense. The receiver, Hunter, falling on the football. Dylan Oren-King, thanks for joining us tonight. Welcome in.
Hey, thanks for having me here. So today I think it's all about DeVera right now. DeVera has already got some big plays in, but right now his passing attempts compared to his completions isn't that good and definitely not what he expects.
5 for 11 through the air in the first half for a guy who normally connects on more than half of his attempts, running this time to the right side and able to pick up a chunk of yards, maybe 5 on that run to the sideline. DeVera has done more damage on the ground tonight than through the air. 4 carries for 106 yards. He broke off a couple of long ones in the half, but he has played better than the Irvington starter, Javon Brown, who has missed on a number of throws tonight. So there's the senior quarterback, Brendan DeVera. And a flag before the play. DeVera has 12 touchdowns in his 3 games coming into tonight. When you factor in tonight's game, that's 15 touchdowns in 4 games. And we still have a half of football to play as they're going to back him up 5 here on the fall start play. But, I mean, DeVera has had an unbelievable senior season. He had 5 consecutive games with 12 completions or more and 215 receiving or passing yards or more. Both of those streaks ended last week at Wayne Valley. Couple of pumps, going to go deep for Njoku, who has a step, but he overthrows him. So Njoku again able to break free from the corner, but Devera a little too much behind that throw. Incomplete, so now just 5 of 12 through the air, back to Dylan's point. But he's a big-time quarterback, 20-plus pass attempts in every game until last week as well, so they're not afraid to give him opportunities, and more times than not, he'll come through. Averaging close to 200 yards per game. Better than 1,500 yards for the season now through the air, and over 400 on the ground. Another shoulder pump, now escaping pressure, looking deep. Hunter Hayek is there, and here comes the flag. They're going to get Jason Antwi, the corner, number 6 on that play. Antwi, a junior, called for pass interference, so that'll give Wayne Hills an automatic first down.
And, you know, sometimes that could even be viewed as a smart penalty because if you don't make it, that can result in a touchdown. You may not want to agree with it, but that's almost a good job by the defender there. Good coverage.
Defensive pass interference.
Hunter Hayek was trying to backtrack there and get to the football, but ran into Antwi, who was blocking his way. And so Hayek making an impact. Doesn't have any catches tonight. Hunter Hayek held off the stat in the first half. He is the team's leading receiver, so look for him to get more involved here in the second half. 5'11" receiver. Devera up the middle, able to get around a couple of linebackers and fighting forward for a short gain. But Hunter Hayek has offers from Stony Brook, Fordham, and Navy, as well as some other schools. Decision a little bit later on in the fall, but he is a very talented player, close to 700 receiving yards on the season.
Now, something I do want to bring up is that Jojo Mangeli, the sophomore running back currently on the Wayne Hills offense, only has 11 carries. Now, sounds pretty good, but when you look at his yardage of 36, it actually turns out to be pretty negative.
And he hasn't been in at all here in the second half. We've had the fullback Kuso in instead. So Mangeli got the carries early to try and loosen up the defense, and now they're letting Devera control the offense for now. So 4 receivers for him. Irvington shows blitz. They rush ball. Tyler Hayek dives in the back of the end zone, incomplete. Couldn't quite haul it in over the corner. Provolone, number 2, on defense there. And Hayek couldn't quite get around him. You have a couple guys there headed to Division I power conference schools playing on the opposite side of the ball. Devera's going to be Provolone's going to play receiver, but they're both on the other side of the ball right now going at it. So 3rd and 9 coming for Wayne Hills.
And as Dylan was saying earlier, I mean, Mangeli only averaging about 3 yards per carry, whereas we have Luca Grave, who was averaging about 7 throughout the year. So slight adjustment tonight.
Devera backtracking, throws this dump off. That's Mangeli. He's got space. He's got an escort, and he's into the end zone for the score. Joe Mangeli on the dump-off screen, able to score for Wayne Hills. They have their largest lead of the night. It's a 3-touchdown lead for the Patriots.
And that's JoJo showing off his speed. He got in there like it was no problem, passing straight by defenders and finding a way to get a touchdown.
That was a little improvisation. Mangeli was there to block, I believe, and Devera had some pressure coming and just dumped it off to Mangeli, who did the rest. Had a couple in front of him. They both connected on their blocks, and Wayne Hills is in control. Sierney's extra point is inside the left upright and good. 34-13, Wayne Hills. Guys, we didn't expect this type of score. 21-point lead for Hills against an Irvington team which is undefeated on the year. They're the number 2 seed in the group. Irvington is ranked number 18 in all of New Jersey. Wayne Hills just a little bit above them at number 11. Irvington is ranked number 9 in North Jersey in the Super Conference. The record. They're also top 50 in the state. I mean, this is a team that's in every poll that you can find online. And Wayne Hills is a little bit ahead of them in all of those polls, but not by a whole lot. And NJ.com actually picked Irvington to win this game. So everyone was expecting a close, high-scoring affair. But the class and the pedigree of Wayne Hills tonight has proved to be the difference. We've seen the talent of Irvington get neutralized by a disciplined team that is well coached. They have a lot of depth, and that's starting to really show. this evening.
Now, somebody to really look at on the Wayne Hills defense right now is Tyler Hayek. He may have only 4, but he's being targeted on almost every single one of the Knights' throws.
There's the bouncing kick again, going to be scooped up and taken across the 35. That is number 3, Salam. We haven't seen much of tonight. It's been mostly Al Blackman out of the backfield, but we have seen Salam a couple of times tonight, and he had that return right there.
That's a good job right there by the young player, Anthony Puntalillo. We were saying his name a lot a couple weeks ago against Milburn. Had most of the tackles on kickoff, and now doing a great job here tonight against Irvington.
Well, we've been told about Irvington's receivers. We've only seen a couple of them get involved. Eli is on the near side here. Keep an eye on him. He is yet to have a target tonight. Blackman up the middle. And he stopped quickly after a gain of 3. The defensive line for Wayne Hills getting it done again. Omar in on that stop. So a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd and 7 for Brown and company. 3 receivers and a couple of men joining him in the backfield. Looking to throw, has a pocket, over the middle, intercepted. Going down at the 48 is Jaron Hayek. The sophomore comes up with the football. Brown misfires again, right into the numbers of Hayek. Not a good throw at all, led the receiver way too far.
Again, not too silky smooth on that play right there, leading the ball right into the hands of Jaron Hayek. Great job by the young player for a turnover for Wayne Hills.
That's Jaron's first interception of his varsity career. He had a pass defense earlier in the season. As the flags fly again, Hayek came into the game with 14 tackles. As this one is against Irvington. So that'll move Wayne Hills up 5 yards. But we've seen all 3 Hayek brothers on offense and defense tonight. And the twins, Tyler and Hunter, will graduate at the end of the year, but Jaron proved to be a big part of the team next season when all of these skill players for Wayne Hills are gone. Tavera in the gun on 1st and 5. Mangelli to the left, and he's met hard. Big stop there by Salam on defense. But Dylan, you've gotten a chance to play. You're a sophomore. You played with a lot of these sophomores. Mangelli, who just carried the ball, as well as Jaron Hayek. What is it about Jaron that makes him an impact player on varsity as only a sophomore?
Well, the difference between Jaron Hayek and most other players is that he has awesome natural hands, and he's got the height for it, which is the difference between most of the sophomores on the team. See, now they do have Zach Zachman and Louis DeGatti, but Jaron Hayek to make it up.
Here's Mangelli, another sophomore, and this time he's dropped behind the line for a loss of 2. He also has some natural athleticism. We saw him make the adjustment in midair in the end zone for the touchdown catch earlier, but he's got a good 6 inches on some of those other sophomore receivers. So 3rd and 7 coming for Wayne Hills. Again, they're playing without their starting tailback, Luca Grave, who was injured last week at Wayne Valley. He's suited up in pads for this game. We were told we might see him on defense. We haven't. And they're just going to rest him for the playoffs. They expect him to be ready then. Tyler has a step deep down the field. Njoku was there as well, and it's ruled incomplete. Javon Brown tripped Njoku from behind. They say that their feet got tangled and it was inadvertent, so it'll be an incompletion there. Not sure if Devera was looking for Njoku or Tyler Hayek, but either way, it's an incompletion, and the Patriots. So exactly what Irvington needed there after the costly turnover to start the half. And then another turnover on the interception. So Irvington not off on the right foot, but a stop there was critical. And now Devera set to punt it away. Snap is perfect, and the left-footed kick goes inside the 20, takes a Wayne Hills hop inside the 5, and touched up at the 1. What a punt from Brendan Devera. And great job by Jaron Hayek to get downfield. So he makes the interception, and now he downs the punt at the 1. I don't know if there's a sophomore on this Wayne Hills team making a bigger impact right now than Jaron Hayek.
Well, the only sophomore that I can think of is Bensi Polgar. Now, this isn't a name you're going to hear a lot. The right tackle on the offensive line. Now, the reason you're not going to hear of him that much is because offensive linemen are not often looked at very much on the teams. But him at the right tackle position is very important since he's going to be getting a lot of pressure on that right side.
He's also going to get a lot of college attention for his size. Look at an even 300 pounds. He's the biggest guy on the line, and as a sophomore, getting serious run with this team, and he's done a nice job tonight alongside 3 other juniors and a senior. So it's a relatively inexperienced offensive line for Wayne Hills, but they've done a good job this season opening up spots for the seniors. Irvington backed up well inside their own 1. They're going to try and push the pile here and get a couple of yards for breathing room. And they give Brown 1, maybe 2 yards as the pushing and shoving continues. This has not been a friendly game up front for either one of these teams. I know Matt was mentioning it in the first half. Some chippy play from both sides. You got to think Irvington's frustrated right now, down by 3 scores. This is a team that's undefeated on the year. And they beat Passaic Valley by 2 scores last week. They blew out Belleville. They blew out Wayne Valley 52-25. As now the players getting into it even more. DeVera, the quarterback for Wayne Hills, instigating, and the Blue Knights are retaliating, and the referees are going to try and get this game under control and decide whether there will be any penalties. Obviously, any penalty on Irvington here is not all that costly because they're going to back them up maybe 1 yard as they do throw a flag. And it's an illegal substitution on Irvington. So that has nothing to do with the pushing and shoving, but they're going to back them up a yard and back to where they started at the 1 yard line.
And as you said, not a very important penalty, only backed them up about a yard.
But they now have to burn another play now, though, just to get themselves out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
Definitely.
2 receivers, DeCarlo there backtracking. They give it to the left side, nothing there. Zaccone meeting him. Pasterla there as well. The defensive line in on the hit. No gain on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 10 again. So big time push. We haven't mentioned Jason Modak yet today. He was in on that play. Modak had a day to remember last Friday against Wayne Valley. Listen to this. Modak in one game, 11 tackles, 5 of them for a loss, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Handoff off right guard, and again, nothing there. And Brown and the Blue Knights are going to have to punt. 4th down from their own 2. And Wayne Hills is going to get the ball back in terrific field position.
This is a situation where if you're the Irvington coach, you're a little bit worried having the punt out of your own end zone. Never something you want to have to do, especially against a great special teams like Wayne Hills has.
And Brown hasn't showed much of a leg today either.
And opposite for Wayne Hills, they are going to be so excited that they have this great field advantage. They're backed up all the way to their end zone. They have to punt it.
And there's the punt. They get it off, but not a good one. Goes out of bounds at the Irvington 23. I'll give him the 24. It's a 22-yard punt, but Wayne Hills almost in the red zone to start the drive. That's as good a field position as you can have off of a non-turnover.
Now here's what I'm wondering. Are they going to use JoJo Mangelli now, since from the fact that they're so close to the end zone, they can pretty much almost see it as soon as he rushes over?
Well, he's in the game right now on 1st down. We'll see if they give the ball to anybody else at running back. It's been all Mangelli tonight with the injury to Grave. We saw Hunter Hayek at running back last week when Grave went down, but no such luck tonight. Mangelli up the middle is ripped down by the defensive end after a gain of 4. Got inside the Irvington 20-yard line. Well, we haven't seen Hunter line up at running back tonight. We haven't seen any carries for the fullbacks, Ruby or Cuso. Ruby, again, left earlier with an injury, and it did appear to be somewhat serious. But we haven't seen, we might see some of the other running backs later, especially if Wayne Hills scores here. I mean, one more touchdown basically ends this game. 2nd and 6. Devera will keep it. Has some space to the right. Gets a block on the outside. Barrels over Tyler Hayek and gets the first down. Brendan Devera inside the Irvington 10 all the way down to the yard line. So a good run there from Brendan Devera. Over 100 yards on the ground already.
Now, let's backtrack for a second. You mentioned that Hunter Hayek had a great game last week. Right now, he's not playing at the running back position. Right now, he's playing at wide receiver. And right now, no receptions, no yards, no touchdowns. That's got to affect him right now.
Well, you got to think they're going to give him a look at some point tonight, particularly right here. Hayek with 10 touchdowns on the year. He has a streak of 7 consecutive games reaching the end zone. That's in jeopardy tonight. They run the slant to Njoku, and it's too high. Went up high to get it. Javon, good coverage, but it's incomplete. So maybe they look to Hayek now on 2nd and goal from the Irvington 9-yard line. But that's an impressive streak. 7 straight games with a touchdown. It's in jeopardy.
7 straight games with a touchdown is amazing for any player. I mean, you even look in the NFL with the pros, almost none of them have 7 straight games with a touchdown, and if they do, they're definitely in the top 10.
And if they do, they're a quarterback usually. I mean, a receiver with 7 straight weeks with a touchdown is impressive. Devera in the gun will give to Mongelli. Has a gaping hole. He's in. Touchdown, Joe Mongelli. His 2nd of the night. Wayne Hills delivers the knockout blow. 3rd touchdown. Had a receiving touchdown earlier in the half. That's his 2nd on the ground. And Wayne Hills is pouring it on.
That's a great job right there by a young player. Joe Mongelli, only a sophomore, has a lot of time to grow as a player. But 3 touchdowns on the night. Can't wait to see what he has to offer for later in the game and later in the year.
Well, this is a big-time performance for the sophomore who was given a golden opportunity tonight. Wayne Hills has skill players they could put at running back if they preferred to, but they have confidence in the sophomore Mongelli, who will likely be next year. Extra point from Sierney is good. Aside from the botched snap, a perfect night for Sierney again. And the Patriots lead 41-13. Nobody expected this. This was supposed to be a close, high-scoring affair. The Wayne Hills offense they do, but guys, I think it's been the defense tonight that has really been the story. To be able to hold Javon Brown and the plethora of receivers and running backs that the Blue Knights have to only 13 points, I think is very impressive. Dylan, you got a chance to play in this Wayne Hills football program for a year. And what is it about their discipline and their style that allows the defense to have nights like this where they pack in their 4-4, which has been their signature formation for years, and they can shut down an offense of this caliber?
Well, the reason that these teams that the Wayne Hills team is doing so great is because of their adaptation and their determination. Their adaptation comes in with that they can switch in any player they want to. They can have a 3-4 defense on the snap of a ball, and they can go straight back to the 4-3 and have a blitzing linebacker, or even put out another defensive lineman. Plus, their cornerbacks and safeties are solid. They've been solid all night. Even though one of them has let over a couple good passing attempts on them, it's still been an amazing night for this Wayne Hills defense.
Sierney will bounce it towards the 30, fielded on a hop. Again by 32, Graves, who is backtracking and loses yardage all the way back to his own 21. As Puntalillo making an impact on special teams.
And as I said earlier, another young player filled with a lot of energy. Anthony Puntalillo's 2nd tackle on special teams of the night. Doing a really good job for a loss of almost about 20 yards on the play.
So here comes that vaunted Wayne Hills defense with their signature performance tonight. Wayne Hills played some high-scoring games earlier in the year. Not the case tonight. They held PV to 6 points 2 weeks ago. They had a shutout this year against Milburn, as there's a run to the right. Falling forward for a first down is Provolone. 11-yard gain for him, and so Irvington moves the chains. Expect them to spread it out now and take some chances against Wayne Hills, as you see the receiver kind of grabbing his hamstring there. That's Karan Gray, who's had a tough night. 1st and 10, Brown going to air it out again. Near side for Provolone again. And again near the sticks. Looked like Hunter Hayek on the coverage that time, and he might be about a yard short. It looks like Tyler was in there too. There are the two brothers. So 2nd and 1. 5 receivers, or checking 4 receivers for Irvington with just over 4 minutes to play. Brown runs a screen to the right, and it's incomplete. Wayne Hill's there to stop it as the ball went wide. Now it's 3rd and 1. So 3rd and 1, they're going to run the QB keeper, and Brown able to push and actually get 4 or 5 yards there. He's got good quickness, and no one was there to stop him. So they'll move the chains again, and it's hurry-up time for Irvington, down by 4 touchdowns.
Now, if you actually pay attention to the defense, look at what they're running right now. That's a 3-4, and looks like they have 2 blitzing linebackers.
They bring both guys off the edge, and the pass is complete. And wrestling down the receiver is Tyler Hayek. After just a short game, you saw Pasterla coming in off the edge there. And Wayne Hill's going to keep the pedal to the metal here. They're not going to sit back and play prevent defense all night. So 2nd and 7 for Irvington. 4 receivers coming to the near side, almost picked. Dom DiCarlo saw 6 in front of him, but tripped over the legs of Hunter Goldberg. So you have a busy secondary here, and DiCarlo picked 6 but got tripped up. Another questionable decision by Javon Brown as we welcome in Matt Klarberg again. Matt, what have you seen so far here in the 3rd quarter?
You know, so far in the 3rd quarter, I see Wayne Hill's putting up really good power numbers right now. They're doing a great job of rushing and passing as well. And also from Irvington, I'm not seeing a lot of silk from Silky Brown. Tough quarter for him, and a good job by Wayne Hill's in this. Looks to be a blowout from this 8-0 team Irvington, 7-1 Wayne Hills. So
we didn't expect this from Irvington at all, as another pass is incomplete.
Yeah, from the beginning of the game, it looked like it was going to be a close game, you know, maybe high scoring, though, like 35-35 going into the 4th quarter, but this is not what we expected. Silky Brown is losing his silk.
They come to the near side, and it's incomplete again. Gray unable to catch it, and this is a poor performance from a team that came in 8-0.
The Irvington coaches on the sideline, they have to be angry at their players for even deciding to do this. Silky Brown has put up nothing so far. Their running backs have almost got nothing. Their wide receivers have been destroyed by the cornerbacks and safeties. If you're on that sideline, you're angry and you're going to be yelling at your players all day right now.
You know, I think this powerful Wayne Hills defense just gets to teams at times. Like, it's so hard for teams to compete against such talented players, even though, you know, Irvington has so much talent like we see in this game. Javon Brown, who could be a D1 athlete, and the wide receiver, I'm sorry, I'm not remembering his name.
Your guy Provolone.
Yeah, Provolone, the cheese man. You know, even with these great athletes, it's so hard to compete against this Wayne Hills defense.
And they just look worn down and dejected. I think you got to give the Wayne Hills line a lot of credit. They've won the battle in the trenches, and now the talent around the ball is taken over for the Patriots. As Wayne Hills with a 2nd and 5 here after a nice run again by Mangelli, who's probably going to finish with over 20 carries. A guy who had only 20 carries on the season coming into this game, but again filling in for the injured Grave. And here he is, near side, good blocking. Great block from a couple of different players. Looks like it's Pasterla now in on offense, or Cuso rather, leading the way. And Mangelli has a 1st down, double-digit on that run.
You know, I have noticed from Mangelli, obviously it's his 1st game starting as a sophomore. It's not very easy to come behind Luca Grave with the numbers that he puts up. But right now, he's got 2 touchdowns, upwards of 100 yards, I believe. So he's doing a fantastic job today in his 1st start for the Wayne Hills varsity team.
Well, you see him, number 29, Jelly, listed at just 5'6", but having a big night. 1st and 10, DeVera in the gun. 2 receivers in motion. A couple guys moved, Polgar and Hunter Hayek. So they'll back him up 5 yards, but they have not had a ton of resistance on this side of the ball. Good blocking all around. They just look like a very well-oiled machine right now, and I think you got to credit the schedule. They've been tested by a number of teams throughout the year. I mean, Wayne Hills started their season against teams that are now putting up winning records. They beat Ramapo in their first New Jersey game. Ramapo's 6. They beat Old Tappan. They're 6-2. Roxbury is a winning record. Passaic Valley is a solid team at 4-4. They beat Wayne Valley, who's 7-2. Mongeli gets through the hole again and will fight back towards the original line of scrimmage, so another run of 5 yards for him. But, I mean, they've had a beefy schedule, and now they're playing the real cream of the crop. They are battle-tested, and the offense has gotten better as the year has gone along. So this team appears to be peaking at the right time.
Sorry, Dylan.
Sorry, man. You look at their offense right now. You see JoJo Mongeli, the sophomore, first game. We've been saying this all night. It's his first game. You get nervous, but this kid is now coming in. He's got a passing touchdown and 2 rushing touchdowns right now. So absolutely, he's going to be a starter for the future.
Home run attempt for Njoku is long. Again, Devera overshooting it.
Yeah, I was going to say before, like, this Wayne Hills team in a game like this against a very talented team, Irvington, it's a kind of game that you need for the offense. You know, going into the playoffs, starting next week, Wayne Hills will have home advantage because they are the 1 seed. So this is their goal leading up into the state tournament. Tonight, it looked like they'll be the conference championships after this game. So huge momentum shifting going into the playoffs and leading up to hopefully the state tournament for this Wayne Hills team. For the past 2 years, last year they lost, sadly, to Old Tappan in a game that seemed to me that they got manhandled.
And a lot of these current players were on the field in that game, and they've come back with a vengeance this season. Jaron Hayek deep again, and it's off the hand of him and incomplete. Another long ball from Devera, who had all day to throw, and now it's going to be 4th and 10. But this offense has been outstanding all season long, and it looks like Wayne Hills may punt here and kind of show some mercy towards the Blue Knights, who do stop them. It'll be 4th and 10 from the Irvington 32, and Wayne Hills is going to punt the football. But again, this game does not mean anything in terms of postseason seeding. This is the final regular season game. Wayne Hills is locked in as the 1 seed. Irvington is the 2. 2 best teams in North 1 Group 4. As here's a good punt. Bouncing inside the 10. Touched up again. This is a Wayne Hills clinic. All phases of the game performing tonight as Hunter Hayek touches it up again. And Irvington will have to start again in the shadow of their own end zone. Just to give people kind of the picture going forward, and we'll talk about it a little bit in the 4th quarter. The top 4 seeds are set in Group 4. Wayne Hills the 1, Irvington the 2, Wayne Valley is the 3, and West Morris is the 4. The other teams in the field are set. It'll be Roxbury, Fairlawn, Morris, Knowles, and Randolph. The order 5 through 8 is yet to be determined, as the run just barely gets out of the end zone to avoid the safety, as Blackman gets out to the 1, maybe the 2, and that'll likely be it for the 3rd quarter of play. So Wayne Hills having their way. A couple more scores here in the 3rd quarter, and they are well in control. We'll take a quick break here on Wayne Hills TV. We want to thank all of our sponsors for their support throughout the year, and we'll let you know who they are right now. Patriots in control, 41-13 after 3. John Vittas, back to Patriot Stadium, where Wayne Hills with a terrific performance tonight, a 41-13 lead over undefeated Irvington. Wayne Hills came in 7-1, Irvington 8-0, and it's the 7-1 team who has the upper hand. Irvington will start the fourth quarter with a 2nd and 10 from their own yard line. Joined tonight with Matt Klarberg and Dylan Oren-King. This is the final regular season game before these teams hit the postseason. A couple guys jump, and there's the flag. We'll see who it goes against. Look like Musa and Omar jumped inside, and it is against Wayne. So that'll give Irvington some breathing room. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 7. Brown works under center. Here's the running play. Not much there as a flag flies. Nick Petracco in on some pushing and shoving after a gain of only 2. And it's a face mask against Wayne Hills.
That looks like it's called on Dom DiCarlo, number 5. We didn't see the play in here from the booth, but I guess the referees saw something differently than what we did.
So that'll push it to the Irvington 15 as we expect to see Brown throwing a lot here in the fourth quarter. Again, this is a quarterback in Brown who has thrown for 19 touchdowns this year and over 1,300 yards. Not quite the numbers that DeVera has, but pretty close. DeVera with 1,450 yards and 24 touchdowns coming in. I mean, these are 2 of the best quarterbacks in the entire state. 1st and 10, Brown rolls to his right. They're trying to set up the bubble screen or the flanker screen, and Brown chucks it towards the Wayne Hills cheerleaders. And that one had no chance. Wayne Hills, that play covered, gave credit to Pasterla and DeVera in on that stop.
You know, John, like you were saying before, Brown and DeVera are 2 of the best quarterbacks in the state, as you were saying, and I believe that too. And both of them are playing both sides of the ball. You know, DeVera is playing linebacker and the punter. Silky Brown plays practically every position I could think of, and they're both great athletes and great quarterbacks.
Blackman again up the middle for only a gain of 2. I mean, we don't really know this, but you got to think that Brown playing both sides of the ball might be a problem tonight because they're not used to playing such a physical team. And Brown has been playing corner against Evidence Njoku and the Hayek brothers all night. You got to think that's worn him down a little bit. And maybe those legs are a little more fatigued than he's used to. And that could be part of the reason for his lack of accuracy tonight because he has not been good throwing the football at all.
You're looking at his stats. It does not look like that he's the type of guy that is throwing and underthrowing a lot, which we have seen a lot this game.
Blackman catches it, breaks free down the sideline, and has the first down. Able to break the tackle of DeVera and get about 15 yards. So Blackman with a positive play, and that'll move the chains for Irvington out to their own 35.
Talk about with Blackman to push off the tackler to gain a couple more yards. He's got to be great feeling after that.
And he's got to be tired, too. He's been all around the ball. Here's a pass complete to the far side. There's Provolone into the open field. Provolone breaks the tackle. He might go the distance. Josiah Provolone with a touchdown for Irvington. That is a 65-yard hookup. Good throw from Brown, and the future Division I receiver did the rest.
You know, on a play like that, it's hard for the corners where the receiver just beats you. And that happens sometimes. It happens to everyone, the best of the best. So it's hard on the receiver on that part because when you have such a great athlete like Josiah Provolone, then it's just so difficult to cover him. And then once he's got an opening, there's no stopping that kid because he runs. He's like a gazelle. With those long legs, he can run.
That's Provolone's 7th touchdown of the year. They're going to go for 2. There's a pitch to the right. It's Blackman. Nothing doing. Wayne Hills stops him for a loss of 5. Petracco and DeVera in on it.
It looked like he tripped up a little bit once he caught that ball, but good job by Petracco and DeVera getting in and getting the stop. Blackman, a very hard player, as we've seen all game. Everyone was saying to stop. He just finds gaps and he finds openings and he keeps going, and it's very hard to stop him.
Petracco a little shaken up after the play as he got caught up with a receiver for Irvington, and he's been all over the place tonight on defense. Nick Petracco has been sidelined a few games this year with pinched nerve in his neck, which was more precautionary than anything, but good to go now. And filling in nicely for Tyler Costello, the starting middle linebacker who's out tonight for Wayne Hills. But the rest of the linebacking core has done a great job. We've mentioned Pasterla, DeVera, Zacone. DeVera's got 64 tackles on the season, and he's added to that total tonight. So, again, a great job all around by the Wayne Hills linebacking unit. And that missed 2-point conversion is pretty important because they're down 3 touchdowns, but now you need a 2-point conversion, and you need to connect on the other 2 extra points in order to win the game. I don't expect them to do that to get those 3 touchdowns, but if they do, that missed 2-point conversion could be huge. So Njoku and Hunter Hayek will line up to return the kick. Just over 10 minutes to play. Wayne Hill is looking to finish their regular season at 8-1. Brown with the kick. It's a bouncer. Hunter Hayek going to pick it up at the 17. Looking for the middle of the field. He gets a block. It's a couple. Near side. Up. Someone got him from behind as Hunter Hayek returns it out to the 40. What a nice return there from Hunter Hayek. Better than 20 yards, and Wayne Hills has solid field position.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of damage being done by the kick receivers. Hunter Hayek right there. Njoku with almost over 100 yards on 2 rushes, so both of them doing a great job finding open in the middle of the field.
And so Petracco is being attended to on the sideline by the training staff, and now another Wayne Hills player is down. And we're talking 6 or 7 injuries last week and this week combined. They lost 3 players last week. At least 3 guys have been attended to tonight. If you're Wayne Hills, you've got to start thinking about getting the second teamers in there up by 3 scores. We can't quite see who that is.
So right now there looks to be 2 injured players on the field. Petracco on the sideline, and I can't quite tell who that is on the field from our perspective. But, you know, so many injured players right now, it's a tough on this Wayne Hills team, but it also is that 41-19 they've had 2 injured players. Njoku was hurt earlier in the game. Ruby's been out the whole game. So it just shows how much talent they have with the backups. So someone who doesn't start here, but they probably start at another school. This just shows the talent depth this Wayne Hills talent is.
And it's always been that way for Wayne Hills. 25-plus years of excellence as they attend to the injured player. It is number 8, Chris Pasterla, who is a starting outside linebacker for this team, and he is walking off on his own. So that's a good sign for Wayne Hills. They need him the rest of the way, having already lost Costello and maybe Ruby tonight. We haven't seen since they had removed the pads in the first quarter. So it appears Pasterla's okay, and that's crucial.
Yeah, it's good now. He doesn't appear to be limping or holding anything down, so he'll probably just go take a few plays off and maybe be back later, or they'll just let him take a rest so he can start the next game and be fresh for playoffs.
So Wayne Hills offense will look for another score. If they score here, you got to imagine all the backups will be in. DeVera will keep it after faking the sweep, gets to the near side, lowers his shoulder, and bulls over the defender for a gain of 7. And right when that collision was made, the flag came out.
He's not the man that you want to be hit by. And I didn't notice, but the person who he lowered his shoulder against was Smooth Brown. So that's a tough play there by the big man. 2 of them, Silky Smooth Brown looks to be hurt right now. You know, he's moving around a little bit, but looked clean here. I'm not sure what the call was.
It looked like they called holding on Wayne Hill, so away from the collision, and they'll back him up. It's 7-on-7. Those 2 have been on both sides of the ball. You got to think there's a little personal rivalry between those guys who are the leaders on their respective teams. But DeVera saw 7. He also saw that he had about a 50-pound advantage, and he lowered the shoulder.
Yeah, Silky Smooth Brown being a little bit taller, but Brennan DeVera being just bigger overall, so it's a little bit of a mismatch on that play, but both of them are evenly talented, I would say. Both of them very athletic players, college athletes, so we're not sure what is with them.
They run a pitch to Mangeli, a lot of space. He breaks through into the secondary, sheds another tackler. Mangeli inside the 40, and finally dragged down at the Irvington 34. What a night for the sophomore, Joe Mangeli.
job again done by Margelli, like he's done all game. He's finding holes. He's getting to him. The nerves in the beginning of the game have clearly shut it away from him. There's no nerves here. He's getting used to being the starting running back, which next week, if Luca Grave's back, it's going to be hard for him to not be on this field all game.
Now here's the question you got to ask. In the playoffs, do you think Joe Margelli could be the starting running back?
Well, here he goes again, off left tackle, able to fight forward. I mean, if Grave's healthy, it's him because he's been there for a couple of years. But I think Margelli might get some carries, especially at least in the first round. If Grave's still not 100%, even if he is a part, if Wayne Hills is in control of the game, I think we're going to see a lot more of Margelli. But in a close game, if Grave is at least close to 100%, I think it's going to be him.
Yeah, because I agree with you completely, John, but this is kind of just showing the way that Margelli is able to play in a situation where he's needed to be in. So right now he needs that. There's no one else they can put there. They can put Hayek, but Margelli is the best option, and he's proving to be the best option for the running back as a sophomore.
And he's able to break free again. Margelli to the far side, and then double teamed out of bounds at the 27. He took a pretty big hit there, but Margelli will be a part of the offense the rest of the way. Maybe not as much of a lead back as he is tonight, but we'll see how Luca Grave heals. The Patriots expect to win their first playoff game, and they expect to win it somewhat handily. And then the semifinals and the finals will be dogfights. But in the first round, I think you might see a little bit of jelly regardless of how Grave performs. But again, a guy with over 2,500 career yards, I mean, those numbers speak for themselves, and I think he's certainly earned the starting spot, again, if he's healthy. As we reach the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter, Wayne Hills driving. 3rd and 2. DeVera keeps towards the sticks, lowers the shoulder, falls forward, and he's right near the first down marker. And they mark it at the 24. They may just be short.
Looks like there's a little frustration in DeVera's. I see on the sideline there's some talking going on from sideline players to DeVera and from players on the field to DeVera. So they're trying to get in his head in this 22-point lead. So, it's not a great way of playing. It's not great sportsmanship, but it happens in football.
DeVera over right guard, down a gain of 2, maybe even 3. Great blocking from Jason Modak at right guard, and Wayne Hills will move the chains. Well, we've seen the trash talking on the field tonight, and that's only going to continue in a state title game. There's a very good chance these two teams meet in the state championship. Irvington has already beaten Wayne, and that would be their semifinal opponent if the seeds hold. So there's some blood being kind of distributed between these two teams tonight. We've seen a lot of pushing and shoving and talking, and that's only going to motivate these teams even more if they do meet in the state final. As timeout called by Wayne Hill. Guys, with just under 7 minutes to go, what would you say the circumstances are to get the backups in there? Because, again, Wayne Hills really can't afford injuries at this point. They already have the league championship pretty much in hand, and, again, their playoff spot is already locked up.
Well, right now their biggest concern is Chris. As you can see right now, if you actually look over the bench, he's currently being stretched out. If you saw earlier, they were testing out his right knee. It's obviously a leg injury, and they're still stretching him out. He's still on the ground. Now that, to me, does not look good. If he's still on the ground, even though he wasn't limping and nobody was holding him, still on the ground and stretching him out, they're probably testing out his knee and seeing if he can come back in. And if he can't, then they need to get somebody back in there to hold his position, at least for a couple more minutes. I mean, the game is pretty much set up 41-19. The game is pretty much over. We can say that kind of safely. But a loss such as Chris Pasterlis to this team, that's big, and that requires a very good replacement.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see him the rest of the night. There's no reason to risk anything. And if Wayne Hill scores here, you would certainly see the second teamers. But for now, the starting offense will remain in the game, and these guys have done such a good job. Again, looking at the offensive line, they have had their way with the Irvington front seven. They bring blitz. They pick it up perfectly. DeVera has one-on-one coverage. There he is. Hunter Hayek make it 8 weeks in a row. Into the end zone again, and Wayne Hills can smell their 8th win of the year.
Even though that this is a 47-19 win for Wayne Hills, they still go at it. Irvington's coming with the blitz. Wayne Hills is not going to let up. They're not that type of team. Just because there's almost a 30-point lead, they're not going to let up. So good job there by Hunter Haig to find the route. And Brendan DeVera to be able to scramble. What goes unnoticed is that offensive line on the blitz and how great job they did to give DeVera some time.
That is the 4th passing touchdown tonight for Brendan DeVera. High snap handled well, and Cierney knocks through the extra point. So another terrific performance by the senior quarterback, DeVera. 28 passing touchdowns to finish off his regular season, to go with 6 interceptions. He's also had 5 touchdowns on the ground. I mean, a 30-plus touchdown season for DeVera. They're going to lean on him a ton in the playoffs. And another good performance. Completion percentage isn't what it normally is tonight, but he's made the big throws when he's had to.
And you know what? May the colleges line up. They're going to look at this game and see exactly what they're dealing with. He has had a great game tonight. Maybe a bit of a shaky start in the first quarter, but right now it is all coming together, and this is what he wanted. I mean, at this point, pad the stats. I mean, really, he's had a great season so far. Just keep throwing the ball, keep making good completions, maybe get a touchdown if you really want to just up that score. But really, if you want to, just keep with it and keep up those stats.
Well, DeVera is committed to the University of New Hampshire to play defense, but you got to think there's some schools out there who would love to give him a shot to play quarterback. And he's committed, obviously, and once he gets to UNH, maybe they give him a look, but there's got to be some other schools that are at least giving him a phone call.
Well, recently, John, I spoke to DeVera. He recently got a college offer. I'm not positive where it's from, but it is a D1 school, not Big Ten or ACC, but a very talented school on the level of where he's committed to University of New Hampshire. So even though he's already verbally committed, he still has schools looking at him because he's just so talented and a great player.
Here's a bouncer inside the 20. This time the return man is going to take it and not take it too far. That was Jason Sillis on the return. I mean, these guys feed off each other. Wayne Hills has 5 Division I skill players on offense, and they've all helped each other get to college for football. And you got to think their stock only skyrocketed this season with the performance they've had. So for all these guys, and again, 3 of the 4 seniors of that 5 are committed, there's got to be at least discussions on maybe getting a better offer or maybe playing on the other side of the football. I mean, Tyler Hayek all of a sudden can really play a receiver. Brendan DeVera is really valued as a linebacker, but he's shown he has a Division I caliber arm, and he can go 50, 60 yards downfield when he wants to. So it's at least something to think about moving forward. These kids are immensely talented. I went to Wayne Hills from 2007 to 2011, so not ago, but years ago, and getting a chance to see some of those teams and the teams that came before and after them. Wayne Hills has never had skill players at this level. To have 5 guys that skilled, that big, and that talented is a luxury. Wayne Hills' strength in those years was the defense. It was the front 8. They would pack it in 4-4, 4 linebackers that wanted to knock your helmet off on every play, and that's how Wayne Hills won games. They would run the football right down your throat, and they'd throw it maybe 8 or 9 times a night just to keep you honest. I mean, it's a totally different story now with the spread offense and these types of players. Kai Sali couldn't make the play as Blackman falls forward for a first down, a gain of 12. And Irvington taking over now with Wayne Hills leading by 29.
Yeah, John, I'd just like to make a comment about what you were saying before. I completely agree with you, though. This is one of the best, most talented group of players has ever seen. Even though they, Greg Olson, Kevin Olson, talk about Justin Hogan graduated 2 years ago, Joey Kenny graduated last year. They're such a talented group, not just single players, but talented group of players that all have D1 caliber skills that are just leading this team to many victories.
And Wayne Hills has a number of great skill players. Just to add to your list, I mean, Mike Quinn was a great quarterback here. The Ogden brothers were great. Brian was an outstanding receiver. Brian Dowling was a terrific running back here. There's a long list of skill players who put up monster stats, but to have 5 guys on the same team that Wayne Hills has right now, it's pretty impressive, as a running play up the middle yields about 4 yards. That was Blackman.
And also, John, I do notice, you see a lot of family talent, like Kevin Olsen, Greg Olsen, both too talented, but Greg, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Mike Quinn, Preston Quinn, both great athletes. Right now, you got 3 Hayeks on the field. So just
2 DeVeras.
Yeah, 2 DeVeras. Little DeVera, Tyler, he'll be a great player for this team next year.
As the catch is made but out of bounds. Should mention there are 3 Olsen brothers. Christian Olsen was before Greg, and he was a quarterback that played at University of Virginia. So Wayne Hills has had so many talented players over the year. I mean, even before Dowling, there were so many running backs. I mean, whoever was starting at Wayne Hills, our running back, you could book him for 1,000 yards or potentially even more, as it's 3rd and 6 now for Irvington, moving from left to right. Brown is going to hand it off again. And towards the marker goes Blackman. It looks like he got it to the Wayne Hill 36. But I just hope that Wayne Hills fans appreciate what they're getting with this year's team, because, and you're seeing these are 6'3" athletic kids. They can run, they have skills. Some of them can throw it like DeVera, some of them can catch it like the 3 different receivers, including one who's going to the University of Miami, which I can't think of a better commitment from a Wayne Hills player since Greg Olsen, who went to Miami. I mean, you got to appreciate what you're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, Greg Olsen also committed to University of Miami and is now one of the best tight ends in all of the NFL. So, he's a great athlete. You don't know if he can go to the NFL, but he also has a brother at the University of Miami who is a starting receiver there, extremely talented athlete, just like his brother, who has led his team to so many victories, who also went through, I believe he went to Cedar Grove High School. So both great athletes again. So we see a lot of that. And like John was saying before, Brian Dowling, I believe his brother is a coach here too at Wayne Hills on the offensive side. So both of them, like every family stays here at Wayne Hills.
And there's a third Njoku wearing maroon tonight as well, as on the sidelines. As Brown goes down, there's a sack, a sophomore. There's a brother, Jaron Hayek, the youngest of the Hayek trio, making the sack there, as that'll back up Irvington. They were backed up by a penalty before that.
Yeah, Jaron is the youngest. He's only a sophomore, but as a sophomore, being so talented, he could be the best Hayek to go through this school that we've seen. Hunter, extremely great athletes, great players, but you don't know what he has in store. Jaron can run lights out. He catches everything. He's doing great on defense too.
Pass complete here to the near side flat for Pierre. Gain of a few, and that'll make it a reasonable 3rd down here with less than 4. But all these Hayek boys, extremely athletic.
Yeah, all of them also do track, and them along with Luca Grave, the 4 of them set I believe it's the county record of the 4x400 meter dash that beat the Wayne Hills record, beat the county record by a lot, and they won that last year as track runners. So great athletes overall.
Brown able to escape to the far side, and he's going to pick up the 1st down, stays in bounds, and then goes out at the 30. So there are the legs of Javon Brown, picking up 18 yards on that run and getting Irvington a 1st down.
Hey, well, you know what? Bad time to show up. I mean, even though you've been playing bad, you just want to get back in. You want to get back into the game. You want to do good. Doing it at this point, 3:20 on the clock, you can't do that as a quarterback at this level. You need to play consistently every game.
It's been for Brown, no doubt about it. Blackman slicing through the Wayne Hills secondary, able to get inside the 15 and all the way to the 12. And that's where Irvington will have a 1st down.
So Wayne Hills, even though they're up by 29 points here with running down the clock at 3 minutes, they do not stop. They are relentless. This Wayne Hills offense and defense, Coach Demikoff works them so hard, and it really shows how hard they work.
Mike Krawchuk was in the game earlier, so they do work in some other guys as the screen pass and a monster hit. DeVera laid it, and they're going to give him a flag here, probably for potentially targeting. I don't know what the rules are at this level, but he laid the boom down on number 2, Josiah Provolone, who hit the deck hard. He looked like he was headed for the end zone and then just hit a wall at the 2-yard line.
I mean, even though Josiah Provolone, the cheese man, as I like to call him, you can't beat Brennan DeVera. He's way too big to run through him. So he had a head full of steam, and right now I believe they're giving a personal foul. So he lowered his shoulder, but at a higher level, which DeVera will play at, that is not a foul. I mean, a penalty. So it's just a tough call on the refs, and they don't know what to do.
So it'll be a 1st and goal from the 1. We'll see if Irvington can break the 20-point plateau here. As Cuso into the game, Hunter Goldberg will come in as well. As DeVera comes out, they want to keep him safe. And so Irvington will line up and try and get closer. Down by 4 touchdowns, they can cut into the deficit here. Under 2.5 to go. Brown looks to throw, double clutches, finds his receiver in the back of the end zone. That's a touchdown. Finds Provolone for his 2nd touchdown of the night. On a good deep slant towards the back of the end zone. Provolone drags the feet, and Irvington has a touchdown. It's 48-25.
You know, it's good to see Provolone be able to get up after that hard hit from DeVera, be able to make a play like that. A really good catch by him in the end zone, truly showing why he is recruited by top schools in the country like he is, like Michigan, John was saying, which everyone knows one of the best football teams in the country. So having an honor like that is unbelievable.
I mean, Jim Harbaugh, DJ Durkin, and James Franklin all offering Provolone scholarships, some of which did it in the last week or two, as the 2-point conversion goes to Provolone. He makes the catch, and they get 2 more, so make it 48-27. Well, Provolone starting to show what he can do, adding to that highlight reel, which at this point he probably doesn't need to send to too many schools because he's very much on the radar.
You know, I just like to comment about what Dylan was saying. It's a little late for this team to show and get a 2-point conversion, a big touchdown. So, as a spectator, I would have liked to seen this done a little earlier for Irvington. If I'm a fan of Irvington, I'd like to see them play this way throughout the game. But this could be due to the Wayne Hills kind of letting up a little bit in a 20-point lead right now with 2 minutes left in the clock. So, factors going on that could. But I do believe that if they showed up a little earlier, it would have been better.
So 2:19 to go. Wayne Hills up by 21, and we'll probably see some second-teamers here on the Patriots' final drive of the night. Well, Wayne Hills will finish the regular season 8-1. They will probably play there's a couple teams they might be playing. Northern Highlands is a possibility. Roxbury, who they played earlier in the year and won by 7 against, is a possibility. Morris Knowles and Fairlawn would be the other likely opponents. So they're going to play one of those 3 or 4 teams next week here at home. They're the 1 seed, so they'll have both games here at home. In the semifinals, you're looking at a potential matchup with either Roxbury or the 4 seed, which right now is West Morris. So potentially Roxbury or West Morris in the semifinals here, and then if lucky enough to get to the finals, it would be at a neutral site, potentially MetLife Stadium, as the bouncer is fielded cleanly and dropping at the 32.
You know, John, sorry, John, but I like to say that you were talking about Roxbury as one of the potential teams we could play in the state semifinals. That's who we played last year in the finals, and that's who we beat to get to the state championship against Ultapan, who did happen to beat us pretty badly, but Wayne Hills wants to go back to that stage at MetLife Stadium and put up a huge victory.
It would be a potential trip down memory lane for the Patriots, who fell in that final game but did handle Roxbury. They also beat Roxbury by 7 earlier this season. So a lot of familiar names on the potential schedule. Irvington could be in the finals. Wayne Valley could be in the finals. They'll be on the other side of the bracket as the 2 and 3 seeds. So Wayne Hill's fortunate to get the 1 because they will not have as tough of a matchup in the semis.
Yeah, and our new team that Wayne Hills did not face last year or the year before, I believe. I think they are new to the Group 4, so it's good for more teams to be coming in.
And as Wayne Hills has shown tonight, they can handle Irvington. There's a carry up the middle. And this is to be number 21, Adam Abita, another young running back getting into the game.
Well, Adam Abita really during the freshman year on the freshman team, which was the first one to go undefeated since 2008, played behind Jojo Mangelli, but also had a great season running along with him. He's known for his agility, his speed, and his absolute block shedding to get past and run for a good 20 yards on any play that he wants.
Blocked for him, Dylan, so you know him better than anybody, along with Mangelli. The freshman team, you said last year went undefeated. Your team and this year's team also went undefeated. So the program is in good hands moving forward as Abita looks to get to the far sideline, and he's upended after a gain of 1. So give him 2 carries, 6 for Abita, and it'll be 3rd and 4 with under a minute to play. Wayne Hills will be able to take a knee here and end the game. You see Tyler Trent-Acosta into the game, number 44. JP Lemchak, the backup quarterback, is in as well, so some of the second-teamers getting a little run here late in the game as the Patriots will probably take a knee here to win the game.
Well, you know what? At this point, that's the right idea for Wayne Hills. Don't bother trying to make some giant last-minute play that could get one of your players injured, because that's just a stupid way to go. The real way that you want to focus on is just kneeing the ball down, getting the game over. It's healthy. Don't stop the clock. That's the point. And right now, looks like they're about to win it.
That'll do it. Clock ticking down as Lemchak takes the knee, and the Patriots with that signature win to hang their hats on. That's what some of the pundits around North Jersey were ripping them for. They were saying the one thing Wayne have is a signature win by a comfortable margin over a ranked opponent. Well, that's what they got tonight in a 21-point win over Irvington, who was just a shade behind them in all the polls. So Wayne Hills gets it done at home in their final regular season game of the year. Guys, a lot to be happy about in this performance. What stuck out to you about this performance, and what do you see Wayne Hills doing moving forward to get ready for the playoffs?
Well, right now, what absolutely stuck out to me was that second half offense. Our Wayne Hills team came out and absolutely destroyed the other team's defense. It was destruction. Jojo Mangelli running all over the place. Brendan DeVero running and passing. The team really showing what it can do, and this win is going to absolutely take them into the playoffs, and they are going to live off of this win as soon as they go in and try to recreate this scenario with the team and the fans all cheering their name as they're walking away the winners of a game.
So Wayne Hills, I agree with you, Dylan. Want to comment on a little bit. After with this 48-point win, 48 points, Irvington 27. So another big win. Wayne Hills had 5 of those. They had a 56-0 win against Milburn and a this year for Wayne Hills. So it just truly shows the power of this offense. And then being able to stop teams to get 0 points or get 7 points is huge, because they have just a great defense as good as they do offense. So everything is being worked together this year for the Wayne Hills team. And I see huge things from this whole entire team for the rest of the year leading up into hopefully the state championship.
Is high for Wayne Hills football right now as they finish the regular season 8-1. They will be the 1 seed in Group 4 starting next week. We'll be here to bring you the action. Same link for your stream. You can catch it on YouTube afterwards as well. Wayne Hills will be the 1 seed. They will likely play either Northern Highlands or Randolph in the first round next week. There's a couple other possibilities as well, including Fairlawn. Then it'll be on to the semis if they can get past next week. But tune in next Friday night. We'll be here from Patriot Stadium to bring you the first round of the group playoffs. Wayne Hills looking for their first state championship 2011 when they defeated Old Tapan. They've been a fixture in the state finals over the last 25 years or so, but this is the kind of team that can go all the way, and I think they are very confident heading into the playoffs. We want to thank everybody on our Wayne Hills TV crew tonight, including our coordinator, Mr. Hookstraight, and all of my fellow announcers, Brandon Brogan, Matt Klarberg, and Dylan Oren-King. I'm John Vittas saying so long from Wayne Hills High School. Patriots defeat undefeated Irvington, who are undefeated no more, 48-27 the final.